and sucking.
High school freshman who won the Incubate Debate scholarship from our tournament at Broward College, which is hosted over in Davie, Florida, in Broward County. It includes a quote from me that says, Chance has worked hard over the past year to improve his skills, and it's incredible to see how much his hard work has paid off, says Incubate Debate founder and executive director James Fishback. And so this is referring to the event that we held that he was a participant of in Broward County. He's from Hendry County, which is where Clewiston is. That's the county seat. And I went out there to coach this young man, help him prepare, and he did extraordinary.
And what's the date on this article? Is this January
2023?
And this is a year later.
Correct. And so what it says is, I'm quoting from
3 streams in one day.
Chance has worked hard over the past year to improve his skills, and it's incredible to see how much hard work has paid off. And that's because I went to Chance's school many a times. That was Clewiston Middle School at the time. The principal was Tina Kelly, right there off of US 27. And so I went into that school. I met with those students, and it was amazing to see what he had done in just a short year.
And looks like Exhibit 5, the next article, is very similar. If it is, we don't need to go too into detail about it, but the next one is basically similar area, similar debate, correct?
That's exactly right. Again, the Moorhaven tournament in Glades County, this time from Lake Okeechobee News, with a quote from me and a number of quotes from other locals who praised the tournament.
Petition, number 6, Exhibit 6, this is a petition that was filed in a dispute you had with another person, correct?
That's correct.
And what, in summarizing very quickly, what basically was it?
My ex-girlfriend and I had a bad breakup, and she tried to file an injunction against me in this court, in this very courthouse, that was denied by Judge Joshua Hawks.
And what's the significance of those claims against you in regards to your residency or non-time?
Well, it's interesting because she was asked to fill out my address, and she put my address, of course, in Florida. Nearly all of the events that are alleged are about incidents that happened in Florida. And at the very, very end of it, Joshua Hawks, the judge here, quote, the court denies this petition and the case may be closed by the clerk. The final words prior to that is he may be a little obsessive compulsive. Your Honor, I'm sorry, I am. But he did not initiate contact with the petitioner indirectly or directly with no legitimate purpose. Joshua Hawks goes on to say that he's trying to defend himself and protect his business, and this injunction, which was never entered on a temporary basis, was thrown out entirely, and I was vindicated.
Exhibit 7 appears to be just an article showing another event for Incubate Debate from
Yes.
a year ago, is that correct?
That's right. North Florida College is something we've been working on for the past 2.5 years. We held a tournament there for the national qualifier for Incubate. This is awesome because this is about a mile from my house, so I've never had a shorter commute. And these were all the great people from local professors to talent professionals. Commissioner for Leon County, Rick Miner, was there. Professor Sam Saley, who will testify tomorrow, was there as well from Florida State University. And so it was a great, as is written here by the press release, North Florida College is honored to serve as a hub for civic engagement and looks forward to continuing its partnership with Incubate Debate in the years to come.
Exhibit 8 looks like just another version of what was spoken to prior in regards to the petition, so if that's true.
That's correct, yes.
We'll move right along to Exhibit
That's
9,
correct.
number 9. This is looks like it starts with a cover letter, cover sheet on the second page, and it says name of corporation, Macrovoyant Foundation Corporation. What is this document?
This is the filing document for what later became Incubate Debate. You remember that my firm, the company I started when I left Georgetown, was called Macrovoyant Partners LLC. I started the Macrovoyant Foundation to be the nonprofit entity on which I would build Incubate Debate. Filed that in 2019 using, of course, the address and here in Florida, and later renamed that organization to the Incubate Foundation. Really from the beginning, it was about Incubate.
And what is this plantation address that's associated with this document?
This is my home, where I was staying with my grandmother.
And she passed away roughly a year after this, or a couple of years? Okay.
Correct.
So this document says Macrovoyant Foundation. These are just basically your normal run-of-the-mill articles of incorporation, correct?
Correct, and I was, of course, putting the address where I was living, which was 721 Northwest 66th Avenue, Plantation, Florida, where my grandmother Helen had lived for 50 years. I was in the, as we said, the first unit on the right.
And going down a few pages, it looks like some of the employees or directors associated with the organization, officers. Pembroke Pines, it shows addresses of Plantation, Palm City, Niceville, Harrison, so 1 in Jersey, 5 in Florida.
Correct.
Are these folks that are involved in the organization?
Yeah, these were board members of the organization, correct.
And they're nearly all Floridians?
Correct,
Floridians.
correct.
All right, so
Already.
Exhibit 10, is this a similar document? Or
Similar document, but in this case it was for the 2018 filing for the Macrovoyant Foundation.
In 2018, you had to file this, and this got filed with the Department of State, Florida, correct?
Correct.
And that's Fort Lauderdale, and address is Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
James T. Fishback is involved with this. Is this you? Or
That's me, James Thomas, yep.
That's me.
And then underneath it's J.T. Fishback.
That's my father.
You made your father the vice president.
Correct.
In 2018.
Correct.
All right, so moving down. Let's go to Exhibit 11. These are a series of emails, the first one being December 2020.
Yep.
What are these emails?
This is an email with an Incubate Debate student from December 16th, 2020, where I'm talking about whether they will be joining our free winter workshop. And so we go back and forth about the opportunity for this young lady who went to Hollywood Hills High School in Broward County.
And of course, this is a Florida organization. You're at the height of COVID, but you're spending your time communicating with students in Florida to try to get this organization growing, correct?
That's correct. And this young lady, Broward County Schools, Hollywood Hills, is going back and forth to make sure that she's signed up for our winter workshop.
I noticed you have a 305 area code number. That's not Washington, D.C. area code, is it?
No.
Have you
That's
ever
Florida,
had a phone
baby.
number with an area code other than Miami or South Florida?
No.
This has always been, to this day, how old are you today?
I'm 31.
So for your 31 years, you've never had a phone number other than Miami, famously 305 area.
This is actually the only phone number I've ever had.
Okay,
Wow.
Exhibit 12. Another email starting
Such
with your
deep
George.
roots.
Let's roll into this one.
This is again corresponding September 2020 while I'm trapped in D.C., corresponding with a judge from the Brookings Institute, George Ingram, to see if he could judge our Incubate Debate tournament, which at this time was virtual, but included students exclusively from Florida.
And did you use DC? I mean, based on this email and these communications, were you using DC as sort of like a sort of high-minded avenue to grow a Florida organization? People looked up to DC. They were flattered by DC. They thought DC was cool, and obviously the center of American life, civic life.
Objection. Meeting.
I'll withdraw. So you talk about U.S. aid in here. What's that? What's the deal with that?
It was a debate about the U.S. aid organization, which provides foreign aid to foreign countries.
All right. Yes.
What I want to continue on that point, which is to say that this email, I included it. This is something that we put forward because it acknowledges the fact that in 2020, I was living in D.C. with my parents at the height of the pandemic. I couldn't get back to Florida. I couldn't live with my grandmother because she was in her 90s and she was immunocompromised. And so I included this email because it says, I live in D.C. now, which was absolutely true. I was living on my parents' couch in the midst of the worst pandemic in 100 years, corresponding with a gentleman who apparently knew someone in my family who sold life insurance, and so I was just telling him where I was at that particular moment in time, which was in Washington, D.C.
And of course, that was not a permanent. Or was that a permanent decision to move there, or was it a temporary thing?
It was not. It was forced upon me because when I came back from this foreign trip in late February, all of a sudden everything was shut down. I'll never forget my mom on a Friday morning saying, "Don't worry about this. Don't let the pandemic affect you." To Saturday morning, she was running into Costco. I've never seen a woman buy so much stuff at Costco in 15 minutes. My dad and I, we parked the car. We dropped her off at front. By the time we parked and walked in, she was walking out of Costco with so much toilet paper. And so I was in D.C. in 2020 out of pure necessity because of the lockdown conditions, and because if I were to go back home to where I lived with my grandmother, I didn't want to threaten her health.
Without speculating, just based on your own understanding of the factual situation, do you believe your parents were welcoming you into their home that summer as a permanent resident or as a temporary guest?
As a temporary guest, and they made it pretty clear that it was a temporary guest. I love my parents, but we'd have our back and forth sometimes. I was sleeping on the couch. I was helping do dishes. They weren't charging me rent or anything like that, but I was stuck there because of the pandemic.
Moving to Exhibit 16, another email to Professor Staley. Who was that? 13. Professor
Staley is a professor here at Florida State University. He and I got connected years ago. He's served on the board of advisors for Incubate Debate. In this email from November 2021, and we're discussing his involvement at our recent Incubate Debate tournament with Florida students from all over the state.
Is he still involved with the organization?
He is. He's an informal advisor. We talk on and off.
What was he teaching at Florida State?
Economics.
Is he still involved with the university?
He is. He is a professor there. He runs the Voss Center, and he's actually the sponsor of Incubate Debate at Florida State University. We now have growing college chapters that are being led by former Incubate Debate students. The thinking is, if you foster debate in high school, come bring it to college campuses where we need conservatives and progressives to come together. I've long rejected this idea that if you think differently from someone else, that they're somehow the enemy. The enemy is not the person who has a different opinion. The enemy is a broken, corrupt politics that says that we can't disagree. We can't disagree agreeably, and that's what I've been proud to do with Professor Staley at Florida State, and he's leading that charge now.
The next exhibit is titled Exhibit 14. It's from 2020.
Yes.
And it's showing contestants in the debate, and it looks to be authored by a teacher in Florida. Is that correct, or is this?
That's correct. 10 days after the 2020 election, this is an email between me and a teacher in
Okay. I guess I go back and forth on this for a while.
Presidency, would you have done that?
No.
And you, of course, did you actually know that you would be accused of that in the future?
No, because the only person I spoke to about it was...
No.
I did not, and that's been my testimony since the very beginning. I'm not sure why you're asking me about what an independent tax preparer did at an...
And 20.
Ooh,
It's
hold
dated-
on. Spicy cross? Hold on.
Well, I love the state, and we're going to start at...
Okay.
Back to question. Thank you, everybody. Please take your seats. All right. Very well. Are we ready for cross? We are. Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, you may proceed.
Mr. Fishback, you have a YouTube channel, is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
And you did
Uh-oh.
a press conference the day after you were served this complaint, is that correct? In front of your childhood home?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to bring up that. Is that you?
That's me.
Okay. And I am at what house is this that we're looking at?
This is 14631 North Beckley Square, Davie, Florida, 33325.
So this is the house that
Wow,
you
he
lived
really
at
knows
from
it.
about the time you were
He
age
definitely
1
lives there
until
and has lived there
2017,
forever.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm not going to play the full 20 minutes here. There's just a couple excerpts out of this, Your Honor. But for the record, this is on James Fishback's YouTube channel. And we're going to start at around minute 10:22. We're going to play about 30 seconds, and I'm going to jump to 11:30, and we're going to play a few seconds there, okay?
Orders that Fishback can't win, can't run is absolutely false, and we can't wait for a judge to call them out. And then on the voting point, I want to make a clarification. There is someone by the name of James Fishback registered to vote in D.C., not at my property there or my property here. He is not a registered Republican. He's what is called an NPA. And so I know that I think I'm special sometimes, but I'm not the only guy named James Fishback in the United States of America. So whoever that James Fishback is, who apparently requested an absentee ballot in 2024, I don't know why I would do that. I probably voted here in Florida, where I maintain my voter registration. The truth is, you're going to find...
Okay, and now I'm going to jump to 11:25-ish. So,
Well, I love the state. I've lived here, and I'll die here, and I'm proud of that. No.
So Mr. Fishback, did you lie to the media saying that you're not a registered voter in 2020?
No.
You did not lie to the media?
No.
Okay. You have to your right the plaintiff's exhibits, I believe.
Correct.
I'd like you to go to Exhibit 2. You have Exhibit 2 in front of you?
Yep.
Okay, what is the address of the voter registration that you're looking at here?
Where would that be?
It'd be, you see your name, and to the left of it has a redacted portion, redacted block.
Why don't you just raise me? I can't really see this well.
Okay, may I approach the witness? You may. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. What about?
Can you please read for the record the address on this voter registration that's previously been identified as Exhibit 2?
4009 Davis Place, Northwest.
And whose address is that?
My father's.
Okay. And this is the voter registration that is an NPA, no party affiliation?
Yep.
Okay. And that is the address you lived at in 2020 with your parents because of COVID, is that correct?
I was staying there because of COVID in 2020, yes.
So this James Fishback voter registration is for the address that's associated with your parents, is that correct?
It interests me too.
Okay. And that's not what you told the media in your press conference the day after you received this complaint, is that correct?
What is the inconsistency between those two comments?
You said at James Fishback that's not affiliated with any address you've had. So it appears to be an address that you actually stayed at.
Well, so I wasn't actually referring to an address there, was I?
Well, we'll let the record speak for itself.
Well, but was I, yes or no?
Yes, you. It's my interpretation.
Why is the attorney answering questions? Wait, hold on. Are we doing a Wait, hold on. Are we doing a Fuck. What's the name of the movie with Jamie Foxx and the one guy? Does anybody know what scene I'm referencing? Where he's like, I didn't actually confess. I said I want to murder him, but that doesn't mean I did. And I said I dreamed of it and I played it over and over again in my head, but that doesn't mean I admitted to doing it. I actually tricked you. What did he say?
Complaint, is that correct?
What is the inconsistency between those two comments?
James Fishback voter registration is for the address.
James Fishback is, who apparently requested an absentee ballot time. It's absolutely false, and we can't wait for a judge to call him out on it.
YouTube channel, and we're going to start
Law-abiding
at
citizens,
around
everything, yeah.
minute 10:22. We're going to play about 30 seconds, and I'm going to jump to 11:30, and we're going to play a few seconds there, okay?
What did he say?
Orders that Fishback can't win can't come. It's absolutely false, and we can't wait for a judge to call him out on it. And then on the voting point, I want to make a clarification. There is someone by the name of James Fishback registered to vote in D.C., not at my property there or my property here. He is not a registered Republican. He's what is called an NPA. And so I know that I think I'm special sometimes, but I'm not the only guy named James Fishback in the United States of America. So whoever that James Fishback is, who apparently requested an absentee ballot in 2024, I don't know why I would do that. I proudly voted here in Florida, where I maintain my voter registration. The truth is, you're going to find...
Okay, now I'm going to jump to 11:25-ish. So,
Well, I love the state. I've lived here, and I'll die here about that. No.
so Mr. Fishback, did you lie to the media saying that you were not a registered voter in 2020?
No.
You did not lie to the media?
No.
Okay.
Just flat out like, wait, so what did he say?
About that.
He said that there's some other James Fishback.
Well, I love the state. I've lived here, and I'll die here about that. No.
Oh.
So Mr. Fishback, did you lie to the media saying that you were not a registered voter in 2020?
Were you a registered voter in D.C. or what did he say?
No.
So Mr. Fishback,
No.
so Mr. Fishback, did you lie to the media saying that you were not a registered voter in 2020?
No.
You did not lie to the media?
No.
I believe.
Correct. Okay.
Straight into the left. Okay, may I approach the witness? You may.
Okay. Yep.
Exhibit 2.
4009 Davis Place, Northwest.
And whose address is that?
My father's.
Okay. And this is the voter registration that is an NPA, no party affiliation?
Yep.
Okay. And that is the address that you lived at in 2020 with your parents because of COVID, is that correct?
I was staying there because of COVID in 2020, yes.
So this James Fishback voter registration is for the address that's associated with your parents, is that correct?
It interests me too.
Okay. And that's not what you told the media in your press conference the day after you received this complaint, is that correct?
What is the inconsistency between those two comments?
You said at James Fishback that's not affiliated with any address you've had. So it appears to be an address that you actually stayed at.
Well, so I wasn't actually referring to an address there, was I?
Well, we'll let the record speak for itself.
Well, but was I, yes or no?
Yes, you. Is my interpretation?
Your interpretation. What does the facts say about that video? I was asked, is there someone else named James Fishback? And I said, yes, this is the first time I've seen the voter registration until it was entered into the evidence in this case.
Is that your signature on?
Did they do depositions for this, or is this like an expedited trial, bench trial, whatever, where they're just like some adjudication thing where they didn't do any depositions at all?
Yep.
Okay.
When was this broadcast? Was it yesterday? Yesterday, 21st.
We're going to be bouncing back and forth between a lot of exhibits here. You've talked about a lot of things, but I do have a couple questions. We saw a lot of your utility bills for the property in DC, correct?
Yes.
Did we see any utility bills for 2021?
We could not access them, actually.
So that's a no.
We could not access them.
Yes or no? Did you present any evidence of utility bills for 2021?
PEPCO would not produce them.
Yes or no?
PEPCO would not produce them. So no, we did not produce them because PEPCO did not give them to us.
Yes or no, did you produce any utility bills for 2021?
No, because I didn't provide them.
Yes or no, did you produce any utility bills for 2022?
No, because I could not provide them.
Yes or no, for 2023, did you produce any utility bills?
No, because Pepco did not provide them. They started in 2024. I'm happy, Your Honor, to log into my Pepco account right now to validate that, right here if you'd like to. Would you like that?
We're just establishing what you did and did not produce.
Would you like me to log into the Pepco account right now?
That's not the only way you could have produced the stuff.
We're in an expedited hearing. How could I have otherwise gotten it?
Mr. Fishback, just answer his questions.
Why is the lawyer getting bullied so much?
And as you testified earlier, you did not produce, you have SunPass account from starting in 2019, correct?
Correct.
But you did not produce any records of the SunPass from 2019 through 2022, is that correct?
SunPass did not provide them. We requested them.
Okay. And you stated that your SunPass was billed to your credit card, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't produce any credit card bills from 2019 to 2022, is that correct?
That would have been tens of thousands of pages. No, I did not produce credit card bills.
I'm just making sure. You did not provide here any records of travel for 2019, 2020, 21, 2022, is that correct?
I was not asked to, so I did not provide it.
But you didn't provide any evidence of it, correct?
Of what exactly?
Travel, tickets showing when you were in the state or when you were in DC.
My default was to be in the state, so I could pull some tickets, but there'd be few and far between. I rarely travel, actually.
And I believe I saw in here in 2022, I'm gonna start off. In 2022, in the month of September, you purchased a property in Madison, correct?
Correct.
And then in the exhibits that you went through, you bought a Tesla, correct?
Correct.
And that you showed, I think it's exhibit 35, you showed the insurance on that Tesla, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that insurance document is dated in the fall of 2022, is that correct?
I'd have to see it again. What exhibit is that?
I believe it's 35, but let's check. No, it's not 35, so. Exhibit 40 of your list.
Yep.
What is the date of this insurance?
October 12th, 2022.
Okay, and this is the only insurance document that you produced this December, or this October 12th date, correct?
Correct.
Okay, you didn't produce any in 2023, 2024, 2025, is that correct?
I have active insurance, yes.
I understand that. I'm just saying that for the evidence in the court, this is the only insurance document that you showed is of this date of October 2022, correct?
That's correct.
And this is 1 month after you purchased a property in Florida, is that correct?
Correct.
And you testified earlier that once you purchased this property in Florida, you moved your stuff out of your grandmother's house and you moved it up to the Madison property, correct?
Yeah, in pretty short order. It didn't happen overnight. My dad helped me.
Yet the address on this insurance is still to your grandmother's house, even though you say you've already moved to the Madison.
It's 20 days difference.
Okay.
I didn't say that I moved to Madison. I said I bought it in September. Actually, I bought it in October. And so let's just establish the correct date I acquired the property in Madison. What exhibit is that?
I believe it's our exhibit. It's 19th. It's 19th, I think.
Okay.
The mortgage document is.
Okay.
Exhibit 18 and Exhibit
All
19 are the two maps.
Okay, let's look at exhibit 19. Go to the upper right-hand corner on the first page. What is the date there?
You're,
Why is he asking him? I feel like the other lawyer's getting taken for a ride. What? I don't know. It's hard. Obviously, I don't have a lot of fucking experience. I listen to a ton of different depositions and shit just to prep for my own or whatever. I feel like it feels like the closest thing if you want to be like a fucking debate lawyer. You know, people are like, oh, you're good at debate. You should be a lawyer. There's like so much shit that goes into, especially litigating, beyond just like arguing with people. But I feel like the deposition process is like probably it feels like the most like, this is where the mind games and the how well can you maintain and not get rattled. Deposition, or I guess like actually doing your exams or cross exams in court. I feel like the attorney doing the cross exam here is getting kind of like, I don't know, led around by him a little bit. I don't know, like he's asking questions back, and then the lawyer's like responding, and he's like having a back and forth. And now James is like, let's pull out Exhibit 11. Like, look to the top of Exhibit 11. I don't know, maybe it's more standard for these types of adjudicated things, or maybe it's more standard in general. And I don't know, I've just seen different stuff. I don't know, but.
Exhibit 19 are the two maps.
Okay, let's look at exhibit 19. Go to the upper right-hand corner on the first page. What is the date there?
You're the one testifying, so why don't you go ahead and tell the court?
Yeah, October 18th, 2022. You're trying to nail me down for something you didn't even do your work on, trying to say September and October. I purchased the place on October 18th, 2022, and yes, on October 12th, 2022, it was still listed, my insurance at my grandmother's house, because they hadn't moved in yet.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, it's only a problem because I caught it.
Okay.
You're a big DeSantis fan, correct?
I think Governor DeSantis is an extraordinary governor.
Okay. And when we were going through your exhibits, there were multiple addresses that your nonprofit was located at, correct?
How many?
I believe it starts with a Spinnaker address, is that correct?
Where I was living, correct.
And then there's your grandmother's address, correct?
Where I was living, correct.
And then there's the Madison address, correct?
Where I was living, correct.
Okay. What's the Spinnaker address?
Where I was living after North Beckley Square with my parents from 2017 to 2019 on Griffin Road in the corner of Angler Avenue, just west of the Fort Lauderdale Airport, in a 2-bed, 2-bath townhome.
So you live at the Spinnaker address. What are the months again? I'm just trying to
You
make
think,
sure
you think he's in a movie. But I mean, I don't know. The other lawyer's getting kind of pissed. I don't know. Jesus.
I have a timeline here.
Roughly June of 2017 to June of 2019.
And so June of 2019 is when your parents moved to DC, is that correct?
That's correct.
And is your statement today that as of June of 2019, that Spinnaker address was no longer associated with you, is that correct?
Correct. I mean, in the sense that there was some idle paperwork that would get refiled. I'd go in there and click re-verify, and it didn't have an impact one way or the other.
Does
But
Fishback have representation in this, or is he representing himself? No, he has a lawyer for this.
much like old credit card bills that are tied to old addresses, yes, I'm sure old addresses of mine are tied to old properties.
So are you aware that there were multiple filings with your organization for that Spinnaker address in 2020 and 2021?
With what organization?
The nonprofit.
What was the name of it?
We'll look it up in your exhibits. It's a foundation. We go ahead and turn to, it looks like Exhibit 54.
These are mine, correct?
Your Exhibit 54, yes.
Okay.
So what is the file date of this document?
June 2020.
Okay, and it's filed with the Secretary of State, correct?
Correct.
And your testimony earlier is this is the time when you were in DC because of COVID, correct?
Correct.
Maybe after this, Shervin.
And what is the address of this for this filing?
4920 Spinnaker Drive, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I was no longer living at the time. It appears that I erroneously filed this with an incorrect address.
Okay.
It's very easy on Sunbiz to just next.
And let's look at Exhibit 52.
Okay.
And when is this one filed?
2021.
And what address are you using?
4920 Spinnaker Drive, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And again, you haven't lived at this address in over 2 years.
I haven't lived there since June of 2019. The address on file with Sunbiz has absolutely no relevance to the operation of the organization. Unlike an address for a parking fee or a SunPass or the monthly car insurance, this address here is simply clerical for the Secretary of State. And so, yeah.
It is clerical, but on Sunbiz, it's supposed to match the address of your business or your registered agent. I mean, that's... I don't know how big of a deal it is, but...
Years as well. Many of this is like recent.
I was like, did Mooten just hop in? Oh, every LSF thread is like a fucking snarker battlefield. Yeah. I'm sympathetic with the comments that are like, this shit is so fucking lame or whatever. And I do agree. But I mean, like, all of this weird shit can stop if Hassan just fucks off. And when I say fuck off, I mean just like stop with the weird, like, sex obsession and the weird comments and the, like, I don't know. But he's not going to, so fuck it. Fuck it. Why not?
They weren't going to come and see me one way or the other.
If you could turn to my Exhibit 36. Or Plaintiff's 36.
Yep.
Can you show the court what Exhibit 36 is?
This is, looks like a tax form.
Okay. And does it say what year this tax form is?
It appears to say 2020.
And for what foundation is it listed?
For the McRavoy Foundation.
Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and give you a second to look through this, but for the court's record, this is Exhibit 36 is the tax form for 2020, 21, and 2022. Can you please confirm that?
This is it. There's multiple of these?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Man, I'm so curious how much time they had to prep. Like, they must have had to have shared the exhibits with each other, so they must know what's going to be brought. I would imagine that has to be, right? But I'm guessing there were no depositions done beforehand, so they don't know necessarily which questions are going to be asked beforehand, so he doesn't know. I feel like trying to do a trial or to adjudicate something. I guess if it's like if you're adjudicating on a simple issue or something, maybe it's not as bad. But trying to do this stuff where you haven't like gotten to ask questions beforehand, you're just like shooting in the dark.
Okay. Yep.
You will confirm that Exhibit 36 is the 990 for Metro Buoyant Foundation for the year 2020,
Correct.
2021, and 2022.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with 2020. Looking at that form, can you tell us what address is being used on this form that's filed with the IRS for Microbuoyant?
Sorry, who filed this form?
What's the name of the foundation?
No, sorry, that's the entity, but who actually filed the form itself?
Why don't you look to the last page of the form and tell me?
Which one's that?
It's going to be the page. I'm finding it right before the Schedule B. So it looks like about 10 pages in.
Okay, and that's, okay. Where's my signature?
Or were you what was your position with Microbuoyant Foundation?
Who is Taylor McElveen and who signed this document?
I was going to ask you that.
Great, he's a tax preparer. I did not sign this document.
Okay.
So,
who,
you're trying to use it to impeach my credibility, but I didn't sign the document.
I understand. Who is he?
He's a tax preparer.
Who does he work for?
He works for the Microbuoyant Foundation Corporation.
And what was your relationship with the Microbuoyant Foundation Corporation?
I was the founder. I was one of many employees. I didn't necessarily look through personal paperwork like this.
I understand, but we're going to just, this was prepared by your accountant, is that correct?
No, it's not my accountant. It's the accountant of an organization that I am one of many employees to.
Okay.
If the CEO of Dell, there's an error on the tax returns, we don't try to throw the CEO of Dell off the ballot.
But is that, what address is being used?
What address did Taylor McElveen use? He incorrectly used an address in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And what is the date that this form was prepared?
Uh-oh.
November 12th, 2021, Taylor McElveen in Highland CPA, 4131 Raleigh Street, Denver, Colorado, 80212.
Okay. And on October 15th, 2021, you did not live on the Spinnaker address.
No, and Taylor should have corrected his mistake.
Fair enough. Now, in Schedule B, which is the very next page of the 2020 Schedule of Contributors, if you turn to the second page of that form, can you please tell me whose name appears under number?
Like the lawyer knows the answer to the questions he's asking. He needs the witness to say the answers under oath. Well, if they haven't done a deposition yet, not necessarily. He might know how this guy will answer, how he'll respond if they haven't actually deposed him. So that's why I'm saying I don't know how you would do these like hearings like live, like we do it live without any knowledge of how the other guy's going to respond. You can have an idea of it, but I don't know.
Number A. The very second page of Schedule B, 2020 Schedule of Contributors.
James Fishback.
And what address is used?
It looks like Taylor McElveen used Davis Place Northwest,
In what city?
Washington.
Washington, D.C., correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Again, I didn't sign this form.
So now let's turn to the 990 for 2021.
Yep.
Okay? And again, this is for the foundation, correct?
Yes.
And what address is being used for the foundation?
Looks like Taylor McElveen, a resident of Denver, Colorado, is using an address in Washington, D.C., or in Fort Lauderdale.
He's using the Spinnaker address, correct?
Correct.
Again, in 2021, you had no relationship with the Spinnaker address, correct?
So I did not, and that's been my testimony since the very beginning. I'm not sure why you're asking me about what an independent tax preparer did at an organization that I'm one of a dozen members of.
Did anybody else in your organization live at Spinnaker or ever live at the Spinnaker address?
No, but the Spinnaker address was related to the organization at one time, which you conceded to earlier in 2017 and 2018 and 2019. This is the organization address. This is the founding document used for the charter of the Microbuoyant Foundation Corporation, filed in June of 2019 with the Florida Department of State Sunbiz website. So you're making it sound like this address came from nowhere, but more than that, I didn't sign this paperwork.
Can you please turn to the second page of Schedule B for the 2021?
What page is that?
Lawyer didn't
Second
make
page,
that time.
Schedule B.
Sure, I see it.
And contributor number 8, who is that?
James Fishback.
And what address is being used?
Looks like Taylor McElveen input a DC address.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and turn to the 2022 tax return. In 2022, the tax form we're looking at here is actually, the name of the foundation is Incubate Debate Inc. Do you see that?
That's correct.
Is there a difference between Incubate Debate and Microbuoyant Foundation?
They're the same underlying entity, but we changed the name in 2022 to the Incubate Foundation.
Okay. And at this point in time, you're using the address in Madison, Florida, correct?
That Taylor is using the address in Madison, Florida, correct?
For Incubate Debate, correct?
Correct.
And just for the sake, when was this form prepared by the accountant?
By Taylor?
Yes.
I don't know. Is there a date here?
It should be. Yes, it is. Last page 13.
Okay. I don't see it here, but. Okay.
See page 13?
No, it's somewhere. I don't have it here.
May I approach witness?
May.
This whole thing up.
Okay, that is 21.
Here. Okay, got it. Yep. So to answer your question, it looks like this was signed by Taylor McElveen in May of 2023.
And what's the full date?
May 18th, 2023.
And in this particular form, filed with the IRS, it's using your Florida, the Madison address, correct?
Taylor McElvin put that address down on this
What? Like
tax
me?
return for a nonprofit that I am a part of, correct?
Okay. And if you turn a couple pages, we get to Schedule B. You get that?
Yep.
And the second page of Schedule B, there are actually 3 contributors this time, but I'm only concerned about the contributor number A. Can you please tell us who contributor number, the number 1 is?
James Fishback,
And what address is used?
Taylor McElvin and used 4009 Davis Place Northwest, Washington, D.C.
Okay, thank you. We are done with this exhibit 36.
Uh-oh.
Now, earlier you said that you were, I'll try not, I believe you said you were stuck in DC. Is that correct?
With what period of time?
2020.
Yeah, a lot of people were stuck in a lot of places. The worst pandemic in 100 years.
Do you know what day Ron DeSantis opened the state of Florida and Disney World had its first, was open again?
No.
July 15th, 2020. Were
Okay.
you aware of that?
No, I was not.
Okay, on July 15th, 2020, Ron DeSantis opened up the state of Florida, and yet you don't return until the month of December. Is that correct?
My grandmother was 95 years old, immunocompromised. She had glaucoma. She could barely walk. If you're saying that because I didn't go home to my grandmother because Epcot was open, that's disgraceful.
Hold on. Mr. Fishback. Your
Oh no, he's getting mega rattled. The judge is about to tell him to chill. I wonder what his lawyer is saying right now. I don't really want to. Again, everything I say is like, I don't. What the fuck do I know? If you feel like if you feel like the guy is asking things that are misleading or not fair, like I think you answer to the best of your ability as clearly as possible. I imagine you should let your lawyer on redirect clarify some of the record. So if he's asking you a question about, well, in the tax forms, blah, 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 like, I guess it might be tempting to be like, that's not me. I didn't prepare that. That was, right. You might be tempted to argue there, but one, you could fuck up and say a lot of dumb shit or rattle yourself and like fuck up in future testimony. But like, if you have a good lawyer, this is what you fucking pay your fucking lawyer for. On redirect, you should say, James Fishback, can we turn your attention to these tax forms? Have you ever seen these tax forms before? No, I have not. You ever sign any of these? You ever verify any of the filings? Was there a request for you to verify the address? Nope. I've never seen these before in my life. Like, okay, thank you. And then, right, I think, like, Destiny, wrong. Your lawyer doesn't give a fuck. They get paid either way. You got to debate opposing counsel. This is why you don't have an MSJ judgment yet, loser. True.
Right.
My grandmother was 95 years old, immunocompromised. She had glaucoma. She could barely.
He's trying to control the optics so hard, and he's good at it. I feel like that is going to come down to the judge a lot. Like even, I would say that, I don't know if there's a difference in jurisdictions or local. I've always heard horrible things about local judges. But even Brettler, when he was talking for my last hearing, I think, fuck, what were they arguing about? It had to do with the show cause for why Pixie fucking skipped her deposition. And Brettler was getting pretty superfluous with the adjectives. And I think at some point, Becerra was like, Brettler, I appreciate the candor or something, but like tone it back. And he was like, okay. So, and this isn't even a lawyer. This is just the witness who's like not even answering the question directly. So I don't know. Maybe some judges like it. Maybe some judges fucking hate it. But
Yet you don't return until the month of December. Is that correct?
My grandmother was 95 years old, immunocompromised. She had glaucoma. She could barely walk. If you're saying that because I didn't go home to my grandmother because Epcot was open, that's disgraceful.
Mr. Fishback, hold on. Mr. Fishback. Your attorney is going to get an opportunity.
oh, shut fuck. He's just gonna explain. My bad. Okay, yeah, the judge is gonna explain it. I would also be careful too because like you really just can't. Just in my opinion, okay, like I said, I consider myself to be a pretty smart guy, okay? I really do. I think I'm better on my feet than most people. Don't try to lie. I would never try to lie in any circumstance like this because if you try to lie or if you get emotional, you could start like unwinding threads that you didn't even realize you were unwinding. Like, I don't know, and I don't know how this could play out or whatever, but like when you start saying all this shit, well, Florida was open, Epcot was open, DeSantis opened it, you said you liked DeSantis, and now you're going off on all this, my grandma had glaucoma, I couldn't leave, blah, 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 right? Well, then maybe the next question is, and I don't know if they would do questions on the fly. It's like, so you're telling me that you intended to stay in D.C. until your grandma was better? Would you have left her under any circumstance? Because the whole argument that it sounded like that he was making earlier was that his grandma had, some kind of health condition, so he wasn't able to leave or whatever bullshit. Or not that, but like it was related to COVID, and it was only the COVID lockdowns. It's the opposite of what I said. Only the COVID lockdowns were keeping him in place. But now, and I don't know if it's because he's emotional or he's trying to like play points for TV. Well, now it just sounded like he's saying, well, hold on. It sounds like you feel like you have some obligation to stay here until whatever, yeah. The grandma's in D.C., right? Yeah, it must be because they're talking about coming back to Florida. That's a completely different argument, and that's a much scarier argument because how long? Because what if the next question is, well, how long has your grandma been sick for like this? It's like, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. A year and a half. And now you're up there saying that you don't want to go back to Florida when Epcot is open? Because you're scared that she's sick? How are you not now domiciled, somewhere else? Wait, the grandma lives in Florida? Wait, if the grandma lives in Florida, why is he asking this question about him? What does that have to do with him coming back then?
2020.
Yeah, a lot of people were stuck in a lot of places. The worst pandemic in 100 years.
Is that correct?
Wait,
Now, earlier you said that you were, I'll try not, I believe you said you're stuck in DC. Is that correct?
stuck in D.C.
With what period of time?
2020.
Yeah, a lot of people were stuck in a lot of places. The worst pandemic in 100 years.
Do you know what day Ron DeSantis opened the state of Florida and Disney World was open again?
No.
July 15th, 2020?
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I misunderstand. I actually completely misunderstood this, but the point actually I think still fits the same. Wait, he's saying he didn't go back to his grandma because she's old and sick, so he doesn't want to go back and make her sick, is what it sounds like. That's why he's saying he didn't go back. But then it still sounds like you could use the same argument. Like, so then are you going to stay indefinitely until she dies or gets better or whatever else? But okay.
You aware of that?
No, I was not.
Okay, on July 15th, 2020, Ron DeSantis opened up the state of Florida, and yet you don't return until the month of December. Is that correct?
My grandmother was 95 years old, immunocompromised. She had glaucoma. She could barely walk. If you're saying that because I didn't go home to my grandmother because Epcot was open, that's disgraceful.
Mr. Fishback, hold on. Mr. Fishback, your attorney is going to get an opportunity, when this attorney's done, to come up and ask you questions and give you a chance to clarify things. That's the time to do it, okay? Try to focus on the question and just give the answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, man.
So in December of 2020, you moved back in with your grandmother after staying in DC most of the year, correct?
Yes, because of the lockdown.
And you voted in DC in November of 2020, is that correct?
I went into the voting precinct, presented my Florida ID, said I can't get back to Florida in time. Can I vote here with my Florida ID? She said yes, signed me up apparently, and I voted for President Trump and I walked out.
Did you spend any time trying to research what it would take to get the Secretary of State to mail you a absentee ballot in 2020?
I did, and it was too late.
So the reason why you didn't vote absentee in Florida in 2020 is your testimony here today because you didn't think about it in time.
Correct. A lot was going through my head in 2020.
You could turn to your Exhibit 17.
Yep.
And this is an email that you already discussed with counsel, correct? Prior to our
He'd
break?
asked me about it, correct.
And this is an email dated November 3rd, 2020, is that correct?
The day of the 2020 election, correct.
Okay. When you read for the record, I did not hear it sounded like you skipped the word virtual debate when you read it, so I'd like you to read the entire email.
James Fishback, james@incubatedebate.org, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020 at 11:49 a.m. to Jessica Corlevon at browardschools.com. Dear Jessica, I really hope this finds you well. I organize Incubate Debate, a nonprofit initiative that hosts virtual high school debate tournaments and a virtual winter and summer debate institute for students across Florida. All of our programming is free for all students. At our tournament last month, we had 98 students participate from 17 high schools across the state. Your student, Stacey Mwangi, participated at the tournament and our debate institute this past summer. It would be great to speak with you about our initiative and opportunities to work together. When would work best for a quick phone call? James T. Fishback, james@incubatedebate.org, and then my phone number.
Would you agree that in September of 2020 that you had an online Incubate debate?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree with me that in November of 2020 you had an online Incubate debate?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that on around October 2nd of 2021 you had an Incubate debate online?
We had both in-person and online activities, correct.
But was the one on, October 2nd, 2021, was that online?
What day of the week was that?
I couldn't tell you.
Sure.
Could I show you a document that might help refresh your
Sure.
recollection? May I approach?
You may.
Yep. It says online Florida, US, correct. Incubate, as I've said, hosts both in-person and online programming.
Is this an exhibit that's not in already?
It's not, it was not in, I just have to refresh his recollection.
Well,
Well, okay.
I don't get it if you're just refreshing his recollection.
Got it, sorry.
It's all right?
So, you've had an opportunity to look at the document that's put in front of you?
Yep.
Okay, and after looking at this document, is it your testimony here today that on October 2nd, 2021, you hosted a Incubate debate
I guess you could probably enter something new into the record if you needed to, right?
online?
We hosted Incubate Debates
Oh, it
this
doesn't
year
matter much.
online.
Okay. On January 23rd, 2021, did you host a debate online?
In January 2025, we hosted a debate online along with January 2021. Along with January 26th.
January 23rd, 2021.
Yes, and in every January since then, we've hosted online activities.
Okay. But I'm asking about the specific date, so I want to make sure we have a clean record. On January 23rd, 2021, did you host an online debate as a part of Incubate Debate?
Yes.
Okay. On March 27th, 2021, did you host an online Incubate Debate?
Yes, and we've held several online Incubate debates this year as
Judge Ben says you can refresh recollection on anything, even if not in evidence. Okay.
well.
And on May 22nd and May 23rd of 2021, did Incubate Debate host the championships online?
We have held many tournaments online. That seems to be one of them as well. Oftentimes hard to get a student from Gadsden County or Jackson County down to Miami, so we'll host online scrimmages and tournaments and championships with students who might have geographic accessibility issues.
Now, earlier today, you were talking about Judge Gorsuch speaking to Incubate Debate.
Correct.
Would you, was that August 2nd, 2022?
That's correct. It was on a Zoom call with about 100 students.
Okay, so that was online Zoom call.
Correct.
Okay. And that August 2nd, 2022, that was a couple months before you purchased the property in Florida, correct?
Yes, I purchased my home in Madison in October of 2022. Actually, may I see that image, please? Just want to verify something.
Sorry, Your Honor, may I have?
You may.
So what you'll notice about this image, we have a lovely Supreme Court Justice, Your Honor, but James Fishback is right here. If you go on Zillow, that will corroborate the living room of my grandmother's house, 721 Northwest 66th Avenue. So thank you for providing this exculpatory evidence to the court. I had this Zoom call with Neil Gorsuch, with our students, from the home I was living in Plantation, Florida on August 2nd, 2022. I hadn't thought about that, so thank you.
Oh, it's exculpatory. He wins. If it's exculpatory, that means it's some type of evidence that basically proves that he couldn't have been doing whatever bad thing they accused him of doing. So it's auto win. If that's always the goal in like big court cases, if you can ever just like declare a thing as exculpatory, it's over, and then the other side has to give up.
The record reflect, do not rebut that.
It's just he's being a goofball. The judge must not give a fuck. I don't know. I guess not. Good one, Chief. Jesus.
The record reflect, do not rebut that.
Regarding your voter registration in D.C., have you made any attempt to unregister to vote in D.C.?
No. I don't stare at the ceiling wondering how I'm going to resolve clerical issues in other parts of my life.
Did you ever file with the county recorder in either Madison County, Broward County, or any county of Florida a manifestation of domicile in the state of Florida for the year 2020 or 2021?
What does that mean?
Well, Florida Code 22217 allows those who are out of the state for a period of time to file a manifestation and evidencing of domicile in Florida. I'm just checking, have you ever filed such a
Is that required by law?
Is
Mr.
it?
Fishback. Mr. Fishback, please
Yeah.
answer the question.
I don't know what that is.
So the answer is no, you never did.
I never filed something that I've never heard of until about 20 seconds ago, no.
Fair enough. I'm just making sure. We looked, we didn't see that you filed one. I'm just making sure that you didn't file one. So
Was I required to?
that's a legal question. I'm not your attorney.
I just want, Your Honor,
I don't know why the attorney's answering him. He doesn't have to say shit. Just move on to the next thing. Fucking let him. He should be asking questions into the wind. The guy examining him doesn't have to fucking answer shit.
I'm sorry.
Fuck him.
It's, the rules here are, he asks the questions, you answer them. Again, Mr. Sabatini will be coming up and he'll give you a chance to explain various things.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm rather new to this.
Oh no. Yeah, the extra information makes him sound hella sus. It does. But also, I don't know if is this like an evidentiary thing? Well, no, because it's like multiple days long. This must be the trial. So I guess it's like a bench trial thing or some kind of bench adjudication thing, where the judge himself is going to be making the ruling at the end.
If you can go to Exhibit 22 of Plaintiff's Exhibit.
Okay.
The last page of Exhibit 22. Can you pull that? Can you look at that?
Yep.
Is that your signature?
It is.
You heard Mark McLaughlin testify about this document earlier. Do you disagree with his statement of where this document came from?
What was his statement?
Well, I'm not here to testify.
I know, but I don't remember what his statement was.
Okay, so you didn't remember what he said earlier today.
I just know that Jay Collins paid him $50,000 to come here.
So right now you have nothing to say about the credibility of what Mark McLaughlin said about this document.
What did he say about it? I don't genuinely remember.
Okay. We'll move on.
There you go. Oh,
sure
he's
you're
so
not-
rattled. Yeah, he doesn't have to answer, or the other guy doesn't have to say shit unless he really wants his answer to it. Oh shit, Fishback's getting rattled. Okay, the other attorney, he's locked in now. He's not taking the bait anymore. He's locked in.
So if you could turn to what is in this document, document 82-3, page 2 of 15. That's at the top of the page. That's kind of what's called
Yep.
And what-
82-3. Okay.
page 2 of 15. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. What does the page say? Not the header, but what is the title of this document we're about ready to look at?
It says Form 1045.
Okay. I think we're on different pages. You're on
82-3?
Can I approach the witness? Make sure we get on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Page 3. I said page 2 of 15. Can you please read what it says there? Yes.
You wrote relevant portion of 2018 income tax return.
Okay, I didn't write that, but that's what the record says.
Not the IRS. This is like a
Yes, I
header.
understand. I'm
This
just
is probably, yeah.
making sure that we're on the same page.
Okay.
Now let's turn to the page that says page 3 of 50, correct?
Yes.
What is the form, tax form that we are looking at?
It says Form 1045.
And what year are we looking at?
It says 2018.
Okay, and what is the name of
He's
for this
getting,
particular form?
he's rattled.
It says application for tentative refund.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And what is the name on it?
James Fishback.
And what address is being used?
It's actually redacted.
What city and zip code?
The address is redacted, but it says the city is Washington, D.C.
Okay. Now let's turn to page 5 of 15.
Is he gonna yap?
What
Oh,
IRS
no,
form
we didn't say
are we
anything.
looking at?
It says 1040,
And what year are we looking at?
2019.
And what is the name of the person?
James Fishback.
What city and zip are we looking at?
It says Washington, D.C.
Okay. And let's turn the page to page 6 of 15.
It's okay. We got this. We
What
got
are we
this.
looking at here?
It says 2019 D40E sub.
For what government entity?
It says District of Columbia individual income tax declaration.
Okay. And for what taxpayer is this form for?
It says James Fishback.
And what city and zip code are we?
It says Washington, D.C. And there's no signature of mine on this at all.
I understand. Let's turn to page 8 of 15.
Okay.
Oh no.
What tax form are
Oh
we looking at?
no. Shit. Oh no.
1040,
For what year?
2020,
And what is the name of the taxpayer?
James Fishback,
What city and zip code are we?
Washington, D.C. Again, no signature on it.
Can we please turn to page 9 of 15?
Yes.
What form are we looking at?
2020 District of Columbia individual income tax declaration for electronic filing.
And for what taxpayer?
James Fishback,
And what city and zip?
Washington, D.C.
let's go
No
ahead.
signature on that as well.
Let's turn to page 11 of 15.
Yep.
What tax form are we looking at?
1040, 2021.
And what taxpayer?
James Fishback,
And what city and zip code?
Washington, D.C.
And zip code?
2007.
Okay.
No signature on that either.
Let's go to page 12 of 15.
Yep.
What tax form are we looking at?
District of Columbia individual income tax declaration for electronic filing.
And what taxpayer?
James Fishback,
And what city and zip?
Washington, D.C. 2007. Again, there's no signature on that.
And let's turn to page 14 of 15.
Okay.
What tax form are we
I was
looking
gonna mention something earlier. I don't know how his exhibits or whatever. I feel like exhibit prep is. I feel like it's really important. Like have your exhibits nice and neat. Like if you have some junior associate or some fucking clerk that like to do all the highlighters and shit in college or high school, this is the time to have everything nice and neat. So you're not fumbling through pages. It fucks your rhythm up, right? Like having these exhibits all like very neat, very clean, letting you machine gun fire these things off. I don't know how much it impacts the judge. It sounds impressive to me, I guess as a layman or whatever. Like, oh damn, like boom, 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 boom. So you're not like fiddling around with papers and trying to find shit all fucking day or whatever.
1040, 2022. Taxpayer James Fishback, City, Washington, State, D.C. Zip code 2007. There's no signature on that.
And let's go ahead and turn to page 15 of 15.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we looking at here?
2022 District of Columbia individual income tax declaration for electronic filing. Names James Fishback, City, Washington, State, D.C. Zip code 200.
He's speed running it. Taco Forecat, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Oh man, he's just speed running it. Oh man, he's mad. Now this is when the attorney's like, I didn't ask you that. I just wanted to check the date. Let's go to the next one. No, I'm just kidding.
07, again, no signature on that either.
Okay. And I just have a question here real quick. In your exhibits, did you produce any of your tax returns from 2019 to the present?
No, because you have them.
Okay.
Did Joan provide you a nice binder to flip through for your depot? No, it was they did it okay-ish, but it wasn't as good as it should have been. I love your Shervin. Who's playing with their pen? Is it his pen or is it somebody sitting at a desk?
Well, just real quick, Your Honor, first, I don't know what it is. In fact, I don't know what it is, so I have to take a second to review. It's not part of the exhibits.
It's not one of the exhibits, the rebuttal exhibit that I'm going to have admitted into the evidence. So,
Did you
It's a one-page
disclose this exhibit before today?
no, it's a rebuttal exhibit.
Well, I think I ordered all exhibits to be exchanged.
I have to check, Your Honor, because, well, I haven't read it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But I would just say, based on late notice and expert hearing, we worked pretty closely together over the last 2 weeks to get everything aligned. Now I'm seeing the document for the first time, so.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Okay, he's going to object. I'm going to ask the questions. Mr. Fishback, earlier you testified that you started...
I'm sorry, just 1 second.
Oh,
I
wait.
haven't ruled yet.
Oh, sorry.
The objection is sustained. But you can ask him about it, and you can even use it to refresh his memory.
That's what I'm going to do. So.
All right.
Okay, so this guy wants to enter something new into evidence, a new exhibit that neither side has seen yet, and his rationale is to rebut something, I guess, that Fishback testified to earlier. The defense is objecting to that on the grounds, I guess, that they didn't get to see it yet, and then the judge sustained the objection. Generally speaking, in a deposition, you object to preserve it on the record, but you still get to ask the question anyways, and you're expecting an answer, unless it's an attorney-client privilege objection. However, I don't know why, if the objection is sustained here, the guy is allowed to continue his questioning. I'm not entirely sure why. He said he could use it for recollection. Maybe he can't ask questions related to the document. I'm not sure, but...
You can ask him about it, and you can even use it to refresh his memory.
That's what... Oh, sorry.
The objection is sustained. But you can ask him about it, and you can even use it to refresh his memory.
That's what I'm going to do. So.
All right.
You can ask him about it.
Mr.
Okay.
Fishback, when did you start working for Greenlight?
I believe early 2021.
Do you have that exact date?
No.
If I showed you your employment letter of agreement with Greenlight, would that help refresh your recollection?
Happy to take a look at anything.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I don't understand the point of this. So he's not allowed to enter it into evidence, but he can use it to ask him questions, and then if he doesn't know the answer to the question, then he can show him the document to refresh his recollection, which I feel like is more or less entering it in evidence. I don't know, whatever.
Have you had an opportunity to look at the document I put in front of you? Does that refresh your recollection as to the date that you were given an offer to start working at Greenlight?
This says, Dear Will.
Uh-oh.
But who's it addressed to?
It literally says, Dear Will. My name is James.
I understand that, but who's it addressed to?
It says, Dear Will.
Who is the letter addressed to?
It literally says, Dear Will.
I understand that.
I'm not
but,
Will.
But look at the address
Okay,
above it.
Hold on, just hold on. This isn't into evidence. It's being used to refresh.
Yes.
So don't talk about the actual document. Just ask the question.
Okay.
And Mr. Fishback, if that helps you remember, then just answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to review this document?
Yes.
Does it refresh your recollection as to when you were given an offer letter by Greenlight?
Not really, because it says, Dear Will.
Okay. Is this particular...
Like, the problem is I don't know if he's lying or not. If you're being honest, I think you can answer honestly. So, like, if it doesn't really refresh his recollection, if he looks at the document, I think he could just say, no, I don't remember, and this isn't helping me remember. That's my honest answer. That's the best answer I can give you based on what's in my brain. But it doesn't really help me. And that's it. The attorney can't, it's not like he can enter this document into evidence and then use it to impeach his character. He just gets to ask questions, and if Fishback doesn't remember and the document doesn't help, and the document doesn't help, I mean, and Fishback could lie, right? So, but I don't know. That'd be my guess, yeah.
Is this particular document that you're looking at addressed to you at an address in D.C.?
No, it says, Dear Will.
You're talking about the salutation. I'm talking about the address.
Okay? It's addressed to Will, and my name is James Thomas Fishback. It's not refreshing.
Like, it feels like the judge just told him not to do this, and he's trying to ask him. It feels like the plaintiff is like, or the opposing counsel? What would you say? The plaintiff, the litigant, is trying to basically enter this document into the record by having Fishback read it, But Fishback can't just read the document down to enter it into the record, which is essentially what he's asking to do via his own testimony. He can only use this to see if it refreshes a recollection. There actually, I understand now why the judge did it like this. There is a distinction here. The attorney can't just bully him into answering every question to get the document of the record. He's cheating. I imagine the judge is about to shout at him, would be my guess.
About the address.
Okay, it's addressed to Will, and my name is James Thomas Fishback. It's not refreshing my memory.
Okay.
If I think he answered that it did not refresh his memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Move
means
on.
you have to.
Yeah.
You can't pursue the questions on it then.
Yeah. Oof. I wonder what that line of questioning was for. And it was a rebuttal too, so it was a rebuttal to something he said earlier as well. So they must have felt like it was important, but.
What day did you purchase a Tesla? About.
In December 2022.
Okay.
Got it on eBay.
Okay. And in October 2022, you moved, as you say, from your grandmother's house to the Madison property. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If you could turn to Exhibit 27 of your exhibits, this is the Tesla order.
Fishback's lawyer should surely have been objecting to every request to read off the document, right? I've gone through all the objections several times, and I don't remember them all, or what. I'm not sure. What would the objection even be? Objection. Fuck, I heard so many of these in my deposition. It would be objection, like refers to evidence not in, or refers to document not in evidence. Basically, I think would be. I don't know if that's a formal objection or what the objection is called. Yeah, and then it would be after that. Also, the nice thing about giving simple answers is if you say, like, does this refresh your recollection? And you say, no, it doesn't. Are you sure? Look at this. No, objection. Asked and answered. Move on. Go to the next. Oh, yeah, evidence not in record. I don't know. Is that a formal objection? Evidence not in record is one. Or, like, reference to evidence not in record. Like, if you say, like, can you read this form? What is the address on here? Then it would be like, objection. This is not an exhibit that's... I don't know. What's the name of the fucking... What's the name of the objection? Where's the judge guy in Kick Chat? Improper foundation, is that the name of it? Objection to proper foundation, because it's for evidence not in the record. And then it would be asked and answered, and then go to the next, yeah.
No, 27.
Assumes facts not in evidence. Oh, that's another one I've heard a lot. Assumes facts not in evidence. Oh yeah, every single read of that document I think would be assumes facts not in evidence. What is he reading from? This is a document to refresh your recollection. That's it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why his lawyer is not objecting to anything. It seems like his lawyer is AFK. But also, this might be a totally different set of standards again for this whatever type of hearing or whatever this is. So, I love you, the real Dr. Q.
And you remember testifying as to this, that this charger was sent to your grandmother's house, correct?
Correct.
And that was the Charger Tesla.
Correct.
But you've already moved all your stuff to your house in Madison, correct?
I have not moved all of my stuff. I purchased the home in October through the
Just say no. Shut the fuck up and just say no. I haven't. What? Another thing too is when you talk a lot. Maybe I don't know. It's a feeling I have. When you talk a lot, I feel like you're kind of doing the guy's job for him. Like if the answer is no, then just say no. Why give all this extra info and help the other lawyer out? It's his job. He's the one who was supposed to prepare for the trial. He's a litigator. Make him do the steps to ask the questions. Don't volunteer all of it yourself. I don't know.
Fall all the way through to Easter was the process. I never hired a moving crew. Between my dad's 2004 Honda CR-V Silver and my new Tesla Model Y, I would make trips to and from to move things, and this is where I was at the time.
Okay. Me, control counsel, real quick.
You right?
Oh, somebody else. Whoever's mic is on is doing the fucking pen thing needs to stop. Jesus. I wonder if they can all hear that or not. Or if we're just getting a different like audio feed.
We'll pass witness.
Redirect.
Your earlier testimony is that you seasonally lived in D.C. and seasonally you did not, correct?
I visited my parents in the summer, yeah.
Is it more likely than not that at some point you probably did use the D.C. address for certain things if it was convenient?
I often would because between living even in Madison to living between my grandmother's place to traveling across the state for Incubate Debate, I was very rarely in the same spot. And so, yeah, I would use my dad and mom's house to receive mail, refund checks, credit card statements, etc., because they would be able to open it and send it to me.
Did you ever knowingly tell someone that you lived in D.C. because you were trying to get them to believe or to know that you were a so-called permanent, full-time D.C. resident?
No.
Did you use the address because sometimes you would be there for a couple months or a month and it was more convenient?
Indeed, and in fact, my wife, as she's changing her name right now, just sent a lot of paperwork down to her parents' home, and so that's something that's very common is to use.
You also like, again, keep everything I say with a grain of salt. I say this so many times. Like, he is paying for a lawyer, I imagine. He's probably paying a decent amount of money for it, I would imagine. Trust your lawyer. Let your lawyer ask the questions. You don't have to volunteer a ton of information. Let your lawyer ask the questions and just answer simple questions and assume that he knows what he needs to get done. It's not your job now to tell a story under direct examination. This should be the easy part. But
use a central location to send a lot of mail, especially as much as we're traveling.
The press conference that was played, when was that in regards to when you learned about the lawsuit? Was that
That was the day after I learned that Jay Collins, a man from Montana, had hired a California lawyer, including an individual who represented Nikki Haley, to sue a fourth-generation Floridian to illegally and illegitimately remove me from the ballot. He's in third place. I'm in second.
Was the conference within roughly 24 hours when you learned about the lawsuit?
Yes.
At that time, and again, you're under oath, had you even had full knowledge of which elections in D.C. or Florida or any you actually voted in?
No, I had known that obviously in 2020 I went to cast my ballot there, but I hadn't really studied the complaint. You and I, and as my lawyer, I don't want to get into that, but like you and I really barely spoke the day the complaint happened. I was traveling. I was on my 67
you and I and my lawyer? Is this a different lawyer or another guy? Or
county tour. The day that I got sued, I was in the Keys, the last county, Monroe County, to complete our tour. And so quite fittingly, we were making
his own counsel reminding him that he's under oath? Well, if you should know the answer to the question, right? Like, I mean, like, I don't know how much these like flourishes help. I don't know how much these flourishes help with like a judge, but like if Brettler was asking me on a redirect, he was like, Stephen Bunnell, have you ever sent the Pixie video to any other person? I remind you, you are under oath. No, never. Oh, and that's it, right? It's like a flourish, I guess.
making history by visiting all 67 counties. My opponent, Jay Collins, was making history by using taxpayer money and California lawyers to sue me. And so I hadn't spent much time looking at the details of the case.
So your first and instant reaction was this is probably incorrect voting records, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know how common this is, but like, yeah, I've it
was just regular.
This guy was talking way too much.
Regularly done. Fucking kill you. Answer another question. 5 words, okay?
I will fucking kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words, okay? Oh, shit. Shut the fuck up and answer the goddamn questions. I feel like his... Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, it's kind of scary having his lawyer wasn't objecting at all. And sometimes that can give you maybe like a little bit of an indication too that you should shut the fuck up. Like if the opposing counsel is asking you like a ton of bullshit questions over and over again, I feel like at some point if you hear your lawyer start objecting a lot, it should kind of clue you in. It's like, okay, hold on, this guy's trying to fuck me up, you know. But his lawyer, I think he had a single objection. It was just something new being entered into evidence. But again, maybe that's normal for these types of hearings or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I knew that I had been up there at the time of the 2020 election, but the question that was posed to me in the press conference was, did you have an active voter registration? And that's obviously no, as I understood it.
Were you surprised to learn that you actually, when you did vote that one day, didn't even choose a political party, that you did it so quickly you were not even choosing a political
Correct. I came with my Florida ID. Can I vote? I can't get back to my state. She handed me a tablet. I signed it. I went in there. I was out of there in 5-10 minutes.
So with that said, was there any other reason why you didn't even click or choose or toggle back and forth between one of the political parties when you voted? It doesn't even have a party, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't even have a party.
Was that because you were in a quick rush?
I was in a rush. I wanted to be able to vote on time, so I didn't not vote in the 2020 election.
So did it surprise you when you're being accused of having voted in an election you couldn't remember, and that it was from a non-party perspective when
It was all very confusing. I didn't even remember the non-party affiliated thing. And so when the member of the press asked me, there's a man by the name of James Fishback, and he's an NPA, and he vote, I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I got a chance to review some of the stuff, and then after our conversations, it was clear that this was something I was familiar with.
Also, you've seen documents that have you affiliated with one address in D.C., another one with a different address in D.C., and of course a bunch in Florida. Did you think that maybe the accusation was that they were saying your dad voted, your father voted, and not you? Was that your first impression?
That was my first impression as well. My dad and I have a very similar name. I'm James Thomas. He is J. Thomas Fishback. And so I know that he's voted in D.C. He is a D.C. resident. And I was confused by that as well.
How long have you self-identified as a Republican, even privately?
Since I was in high school.
So was there any other reason why, other than haste, based on your testimony, you didn't even choose a party when you went in and voted?
Just haste.
Did you make attempts to get early utility records?
I did.
And you were unsuccessful, correct?
I was unsuccessful given the expedited hearing.
Tell us more about the Spinnaker address and its relevance in this case.
We lived at 14631 North Beckley Square, which is the video in front of that childhood home there. We lived there from 1996 to 2017. We moved out and moved to a townhouse, 2-bed, 2-bath, in Fort Lauderdale. That was the Spinnaker address. So we lived there for 2 years. In 2019, for the first time in my life, really, we kind of forked off. So my mom and dad moved up to DC. I moved in with my grandmother, who lost her husband, my grandfather, a year prior. And so that was kind of the original forking off, where they went up to DC and I stayed with my grandmother, moved in with her.
Previous addresses, did you ever utilize the option that the U.S. Postal Service has to have your mail forwarded even after you leave the address?
I don't know that I did myself. I know that my parents did, but I often use the poor man's mail forwarding service, which is to give it to your mom's address and then have her send you a UPS envelope every month.
So I want to very clarify your visits to DC. When was the first time you ever visited DC? Do you remember?
When I was a kid, maybe when I was 9 or 10 years old. I actually remember it because it was during the 2008 financial crisis, and my dad, my sister, and I were there alone, and my mom wasn't with us. And we were right outside the Department of the Treasury, and Hank Paulson, who was infamous for walking the streets of DC without a Secret Service detail, had walked by us. And my dad said, "Hey, Hank," and this is in the throes of the 2008 financial crisis. I remember having Five Guys for the first time, but that was really the first time I'd ever spent time in DC.
And you went there, when did you decide you wanted to go to Georgetown over some other elite university or good college?
I applied to Georgetown, got in, it was my dream school, and I got in senior year of high school, and then I went there and did 2 years there.
So you visited DC, came back, you went there for college, you came back, you lived up there for a period, came back, you bought an apartment, came back. Do you still go back and forth to DC to this day?
I do.
And where do you go when you go up there?
So right now, my sister's living in my apartment. Prior to that, a friend had been living there for 7 months, and so when I go there, I'll either stay on my parents' couch if it's a day or two, or I'll stay at a hotel.
All the times you've gone there, back and forth, ever, even once, did you ever make the decision that this was going to be your permanent abode?
No.
What's your favorite restaurant in Washington, D.C.? What's the best restaurant in Washington, D.C., and why is it Cafe Milano?
It probably is Cafe.
Actually,
Where do you eat?
Freaking epic.
I almost always eat out because I really don't have stuff at home to cook with. So I like Cafe Milano. I like what's that place? The Italian restaurant, I think off of Georgetown.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's one of them.
What you talked about your cookware. What is the most amount of cookware you ever had in that DC apartment?
An air fryer. I've used the stove to make popcorn.
During this whole period we talked about, from when you're 18, we talked about prior, but from 18 to this day, have you ever, as you know, from the first time you voted in Florida through now, has your voter registration in Florida ever lapsed?
No.
If somebody told you tomorrow you have to unregister your vote in DC, would you even know how to do that?
No idea.
Have you ever met someone who's unregistered of voting yet?
No.
Before you filed to run for governor of the state of Florida, had any person ever told you or referred to you as a full-time DC resident?
No.
Can you, again, you're under oath, can you think of one person that thinks that you're actually a full-time resident before you filed for office, and obviously political things happen?
No.
Did you ever represent to anyone in the incubate debate space for 7 years that you were a full-time DC resident?
No.
And again, revisiting your earlier testimony, you understand the position you're in. If you're lying, you're guilty of perjury. But the documents that you signed, if you meant them to be true, and you intentionally made those signatures on the two documents, the mortgage document and the voting document, you could be found guilty of perjury, correct?
I understand that.
And you understand that in your testimony, of course, you didn't mean to, it wasn't your idea, you didn't have knowledge of what you were signing up for, you didn't understand the legal significance of what you did, but you did in fact check the box.
That's correct.
But what would be would you be lying to the court right now if you told me that, if you said that you checked those boxes honestly, that was your intent to do, and you meant it as a truthful statement at the time?
I would be lying if I said that, and if I'm criminally prosecuted for telling the truth today, I will face that fate soon enough.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God,
Mr.
bro,
Sabatini,
chill.
may I ask you, when the parties refer to apartment, are they referring to the condo?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Chill, dude.
Are you, it looks like you're getting ready for recross.
Yeah, the last question he asked, he set up a question that I asked.
So you're wondering whether I would grant recross?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has to ask. Uh-oh.
Yes, very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got his
Second,
lunch.
you talked about you just ended the question regarding criminal prosecution for signing the mortgage. That you hope it doesn't happen, but that's a possibility. Correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Are you familiar with the Lisa Cook case?
Yes.
And can you tell me what the Lisa Cook case was about?
So Lisa Cook is a member of the Board of Governors of the United States Federal Reserve. President Trump removed her from office in line with his Article 2 powers. My investment firm, Azoria, filed an amicus brief, which was accepted by the United States Supreme Court and cited by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, which referenced that President Trump, being the head of the executive branch of the United States government, has the right to remove any executive officer at any time without any explanation.
In fact, your amici brief basically said that mortgage fraud damages credibility, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that is something that you submitted, and it wasn't just your company, it was you individually also, correct?
Oh,
Correct. Submitted to
Jeez.
the United States Supreme Court
And you also did it to the circuit court, correct?
and to the district court.
And to the district court. So you submitted 3 different amici briefs to federal courts.
All saying that if you fuck a mortgage document up, it should severely undermine your credibility. Well, didn't we just look at you fucking up your register to vote documents and your tax forms and your, I wonder, I don't know.
About the Lisa Cook case, in which you stated that mortgage fraud damages the credibility of Lisa Cook, and that is why, one of the reasons why President Trump could get rid of her. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. A minute ago, you were talking about voter registration. What year exactly were you in Georgetown going to school?
I went to Georgetown in 2013, 14, 15.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Sabatini, you want any
That was it? Okay.
redirect?
I could, Your Honor. It'll just be two quick questions. You were 26 years old when you got the mortgage, roughly?
Correct.
And you were around 25, 26 when you voted?
Yep. Yep.
And is it your understanding that you didn't quite understand the documents, you weren't intentionally trying to commit fraud, you just signed a document?
That's right.
And these high-profile political situations with both Elise Cook and I believe Attorney General Letitia James and other high figures on both sides of the political aisle who are being accused of
Yeah, they were way older. They were more responsible than you because they were older, and so they knew better, and that it's not the same, so it's not comparable, right? So while it might damage their credibility, it shouldn't damage your credibility.
mortgage fraud. Would you differentiate your case in any way based on your age?
I mean, Lisa Cook, and I know this intimately because I wrote the amicus brief. Lisa Cook filed for 2 different mortgages within the span of a month in 2 different homes, declared they were both her primary resident 1 year before becoming a board member of the United States Federal Reserve. That's a little bit different than buying an investment property in Washington, D.C. But to your point, Mr. Sabatini, I would much rather always tell the truth no matter what the consequences are.
No further questions, right?
Okay. So, Mr. Fishback, you may return to your seat.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sabatini, you may call your next witness.
Just as a factual matter, my assumption, without knowing much about real estate, is that if you were to give me that fact pattern that somebody applied for 2 different, my guess is they were just like, they tried to apply for a loan on one house and then they tried to apply for a loan on another one because they didn't get the first one. That'd be my assumption, unless you have more documents to prove it. And I'm pretty sure, isn't that basically what ended up happening? So, I mean, the fact pattern they just laid out doesn't make it sound like there's absolutely fraud or whatever that occurred. It just sounds like somebody was applying for a mortgage and then looked at a different house so had to apply for a second mortgage, but rather than was trying to buy 2 homes within a month of each other and lying on the second one about it being a primary residence to get a better interest rate. But, you know. Is this really too far?
We'll call our next witness, which is, he's in the hallway right now. That'll be Mr. Jay Fishback, Sr., his father.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Somebody's getting booted. Or they bring up a different witness. Oh.
Ms. Davis, would you like a more comfortable chair? You are counsel for...
I heard you. I heard you talking. I would love a comfortable chair. I'll take
Yes,
one over
please.
here.
Okay, so before we sit down, if I can get you to raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, the Cookie Monster's here. Uh-oh.
Mr. Fishback, would you mind stating your full legal name?
J. Thomas Fishback.
And how do you know
Oh,
the
he's
defendant in
dead.
this case, James Fishback?
That's my son. I've known him since before he was born.
And you know what this case is about, correct?
Yes, sir.
And obviously you haven't watched any of the testimony at all in this case, correct?
Well, I did watch about the first minute when and it was talking about he was in middle school and high school and he was in debate, and then I walked away because I think I wasn't supposed to. But so I did hear about the first minute.
About
And-
60 seconds, correct?
Correct.
So we'll just keep it nice and short and simple and go through a chronological pattern here. For the first 10 or 15 years of his life, where did he live based on your factual experience observation?
Well, I guess I'll start to the very beginning. I got married in 1993 to his mom. We lived in when my wife was pregnant. We lived at
He said keep it simple.
1507 Argyle Drive in Fort Lauderdale. We moved from there to Davie before he was born. She was pretty big. She might have been about 8 months pregnant. We moved to 6700 Nova Drive in Davie, and then we lived there for about 2 years. And then he was less than 2 years.
Oh man, this dad is so excited.
Then we moved more
He
or less
gets to
to his
answer
childhood home, which was
and
146.
yap on the most irrelevant fucking shit.
Did he ever move out of the state of Florida permanently before he attended Georgetown?
No.
When he attended Georgetown, did he ever tell you that he was moving there permanently for the rest of his life?
No.
Where did he move after Georgetown?
He, in Georgetown.
I meant, where did he go after Georgetown? Did he come back to Florida?
Oh, he came back to Florida, yeah, correct.
And so he's back in Florida. Has he ever permanently resided in Washington, D.C.?
No.
Has he ever told you that he ever had the goal of permanently living in Washington, D.C.?
No.
Were you with him when he got the mortgage for the house when he was in his mid-20s?
Your Honor, these are leading questions. I'm going to object.
If you ever, the question is, was he with him when he got the mortgage?
Yeah. And it's been
Overruled.
a whole series of...
Overruled.
Damn.
Did you ever speak to your son about obtaining a mortgage?
Don't really recall.
When-
I mean, I know he got a real estate agent, I guess, but no, I don't remember me talking to him about getting a mortgage.
How is it a leading question? I mean, you're trying to establish some factual record about the documents. And so if I ask the question, you know, has your son ever applied for a mortgage before? And you say, yes. Where did he apply for a mortgage? In DC. What year do you think it was? It was this year. Were you with him when he signed the documents? Somebody might consider this to be like a proper, I don't know if you would call it foundation, but like you have to prepare your question down the line. However, if the lawyer were to ask the question from the very beginning and without establishing any of that question, if the lawyer would say, were you with your son, like this would be a really obvious one, were you with your son when he signed the mortgage documents that said that he was a permanent resident of Florida and that he would never break a law and he would be a bad guy at all? You say, okay, hold on, leading question. Just you can't give the answer to your own witness. You're allowed to lead on cross, but your own lawyer is not allowed to give you major leading questions. You're supposed to like build a proper foundation to the question you're asking. Now, what counts as leading or not? Like, could he just ask the question? I mean, probably it's not. This is not like a hardcore fucking rape criminal case or like a multi-trillion-dollar civil litigation suit or whatever. So I imagine for some cases the judge will have more leeway. This is like I don't even know what this is, evidentiary, whatever the fuck this is. So the judge might not give us much of a fuck, but.
Were you with him when he was applying for any sort of loan or anything like that online?
No.
Okay. Do you recall reading through any of his documents at the time?
No.
When he started spending time in D.C., that was before he purchased an apartment, or was that after?
So his childhood home, I've got to say this to get my chronology right. His childhood home was 14631 North Beckley Square. After that, we sold that home. We moved to Fort Lauderdale, 4920 Spinnaker Drive, and that was in 2017, I believe. We moved from, all of this is Broward County. We moved to 4920 Spinnaker Drive, and then from there, I moved with my wife up to DC. She has two childhood friends that live in that area up there, and so we moved out of Florida, my wife and I, to Washington, DC in.
Okay, if you want to up your joke-telling ability or like your social skills or whatever the fuck, just a random tip. I don't even know how you train this, but learn the relevant details for anything that you're saying, because some people just pad so much. And it's like, please, fucking God, everybody wants you to get to the fucking point. Holy shit.
2019, right before the scamdemic.
What was your relationship between your son and your mother? What was
his grandma. Oh, they were very close.
So did he ever live with his grandmother?
Yes, he did.
When was the time period in which he started?
That was when we moved out of 4920 Spinnaker Drive. I moved all his stuff from there, and I believe that was in the summer of 2019. I moved his bedroom there to a bedroom at my mom's house in Plantation.
So his stuff went from the house you were getting rid of to your mother's house, his grandmother's house down the road.
Correct.
And he would just visit between DC and there. Is that your testimony, or what was his travel pattern like after that?
Oh, after we moved from there, his travel pattern was he's always spent most of his time in Florida. For a couple years there, I think the DC was more of an office for him. He had a computer set up in there and stuff like that. And when he came into town, he stayed there when he came into town.
Did you ever observe whether his DC property was furnished or not?
Yeah, there was some furniture.
Narcvids, I don't even know how you would even begin to address that, if it would be really risky, depending on the judge, if you can even have, if like a political opinion would be relevant. But like, yeah, if you thought it was a scamdemic, if none of you guys thought it was real, then why did you feel the need to stay away from your grandma? I don't know if you would be allowed. I don't even know how that would work. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're in there, yeah.
Was it furnished the way you would furnish a full-time residence, or not?
No.
Okay. And after the COVID pandemic, did he spend more or less time in DC?
I would say the maximum amount of time he spent in DC was probably, I think the most time he ever spent there maybe would have been somewhere around a total of about 3 months out of a year. And normally he would.
I feel like they coached that, but it could be the truth also. I said earlier when we were listening, James Fishback was very smart. He was like very keen on the whole like, oh, I was in Florida for like what was it, like winter, spring, fall, or whatever, and I was only in DC for the summer. I was like, oh, okay, only a quarter of the year, nowhere near that half or whatever that you would need to, I guess, to change your domicile or whatever. And then he just said 3 out of 12 months for sure, 1/4, nowhere near half, Your Honor. But I mean, maybe it's true though. I mean, I don't know.
Would not stay there for more than a week at a time.
Have you been to his Madison home?
Yes.
Okay. Did he bring the stuff he had from Plantation at your mother's home?
No, he didn't bring it. I brought his bedroom, his bed, and his tables, and his books and stuff. I moved that from 4920 Spinnaker to my mom's house, and he had his own bedroom there. And then when he got the house in Madison, I moved it up there for him.
So his permanent furniture and belongings never actually went to DC. They went from Plantation to Madison. That's your testimony.
Correct.
Just one moment for my client. In terms of politics, local politics in Washington, D.C. versus Florida politics, have you ever heard your son speak in a detailed way about D.C. politics at all? Or
never.
What about Florida politics?
All the time.
Is that true even in the years around COVID?
Yes.
And then Incubate Debate, obviously you're familiar with the organization Incubate Debate, are you or are you not?
Oh yeah, I drove the kids all over Florida in a bus and coached a lot of the tournaments. I spent a lot of time there.
And to this day, are you still somewhat involved with Incubate Debate?
It's kind of been weaning off. The last time I was judged one of the tournaments, I think it was like about 6 months ago, so not as involved as I was, but I would stay still. Yeah, I mean, I'd still be available for judging.
Based on your own factual observations, knowledge, and memory, roughly how much time, week to week or month to month, whatever you'd like to phrase it, how much time has your son put into that Florida organization?
Oh, that was his blood, sweat, and tears. He started out. It was essentially a full-time job, I would say.
Do you ever recall him being more occupied or employed with some organization or institution that took his energies out of the state more than Incubate Debate or something in the state of Florida? Has he ever been more pulled away from the state of Florida in his work life?
Well, time-wise, I would say it was the Incubate Debate was the majority of his time and effort, even when he was employed.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Very good. Cross.
We have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sabatini, may this witness be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, defense, excuse me, plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. You may be excused. Thank you. And Mr. Sabatini, call your next witness.
Our next witness is Alex Mugia. We're going to grab him right now. And Your Honor, for this witness, he is now permitted to stay in the courtroom if he wants.
Does anyone else scam Demi? LeMayo?
Okay, sir, come on up here. I'm going to have you sit right here, and right before you sit down, if you'll stand and raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm? The testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your full legal name.
Alexander Joseph McGee.
And how do you know Mr. Fishback?
Well, he's been like a mentor and a friend for roughly a decade.
How did you meet him?
I met him when I was in high school. He was my debate coach.
Where'd you go to high school?
Center for International Education, a Cambridge Associate School based in Homestead, Florida.
Homestead.
Yes.
And what year was that you met him?
Probably 2018, 2019.
Did you, and you said he was your debate coach, is that what you testified to?
Correct, yes.
So did you end up joining his organization, debate organization?
Yes, this was like pre-Incubate Debate formally being an organization. It was originally kind of a summer camp at the University of Miami.
And that was in 2018?
Yes.
So in the last 8 years, 2018 to 2026, how closely have you maintained a relationship or communications with him?
Well, I feel like we probably speak once a day. When I was at the University of Florida, I invited him out to speak to our various college clubs at the business school. He gave me a lot of advice on career. When I was working at JP Morgan, he gave me career advice. So I was working with him pretty much, I feel like, every day.
Where do you work today?
I currently run my own business advisory firm based in Miami, Galvez Strategies.
I'm not great at math, but I try to do the numbers in my head real quick. If you talk to him almost every day for that period of time, is it like 3,000, more, 2,000 times, right? 2,000 times?
I suppose so, yes.
At least?
Yeah.
Okay, so phone call, text, various means? Or?
Predominantly, I guess, text. Phone calls maybe once every other day, maybe.
And you know what this case is about, obviously, correct?
Yes.
You're under oath. What have you ever had the belief? Have you ever believed? Have you ever known it to be the fact that Mr. Fishback was a full-time DC resident?
No, I always assumed he was a Florida resident and that he is one.
What was your understanding of his relationship to DC based on what you observed and what you know?
I know he spent his summers there, and I know he would go for different business meetings, but he would often come back either to Miami or now in Madison.
Having spoken to him 2,000 times, had he ever told you that he was going to be permanently staying in Washington, D.C.?
He has never told me that.
Has he ever said or done anything, any actions that you observed that would lead you to believe that he wanted to permanently reside in Washington, D.C.?
No.
How did the COVID pandemic, how did that affect his behavior and patterns in terms of travel based on your memory and knowledge?
I remember he stayed a little bit longer than he normally would in DC. I remember a lot of the Incubate programs went virtual. Obviously, had to adapt with kind of the times, right, and continue to provide those services to our students. So I do remember him staying in DC a little longer than he normally would, but as soon as kind of COVID, that whole hysteria started calming down, he came back to Florida and stayed here more predominantly.
Aww.
Did you learn about his relationship with his grandmother?
Yes, I know they were quite close.
Did you have the opportunity to ever speak to her or see her, or was she?
I don't believe I had the opportunity to meet her. I just heard of their relationship and how close they were and how devastated he was when she passed.
Do you recall him actually residing at her home for a period of time?
Yes, I do recall that.
What is the basis of your belief that he resided there at a time? Was it phone calls? Would you say that he report to you that he lived there? How did you gain that belief?
He mentioned it kind of in conversations that he was taking care of his grandmother, and kind of seeing her on a daily basis, while also just doing his Incubate stuff as well.
So he would be in Florida, and he would tell you that over the phone. That's your testimony?
Yeah, he had mentioned that on phone calls.
How many tournaments or work events related to Incubate Debate did you participate in where he was present?
Roughly, maybe I'd been to 20 or 30 tournaments over the course of
I wonder if I saw this
4
guy.
years.
So is that roughly 2 or 3 a year?
I would say so, yeah.
And additionally, you had online events too, correct?
Yes.
Based just on your memory and understanding, what was the breakdown, the sort of share of the pie? Is it half and half live, half online?
Yeah, I think maybe half online if you were to look at the full spectrum. Obviously, 2020, 2021, a lot more virtual. But as time progressed, things became more and more in person and kind of physical tournaments. So, yeah.
And is it true on the front end, was there more physical in-person tournaments before COVID?
Yes, that is also very true. It was exclusively kind of in person from my memory.
And has anyone ever given you an incentive or told you you had to be here, you had to testify this, we'll do this for you? Any kind of perk for this testimony you're giving here today?
No.
What expense did it cost you to come all the way up here and testify?
It costed about maybe a $200 Uber from where I was residing in Gainesville.
And you're here because you know, is it because you know that he is a resident and you're trying to be helpful?
Meeting.
Assisting.
Just one moment to confirm my client, I almost finished this way.
Jesus Christ. Were you given anything to testify? Well, the plaintiff is actually providing all of my legal fees, and Joan is actually retaining me and every single other witness in this case, by the way. That's just so crazy. Dude, if we actually go to trial, I just can't imagine how fucking insane. That just seems so crazy to me. Hello, welcome. Here's the witness list for the prosecution. Yes, Joan is representing every single witness, by the way. That's not unusual though. That's just how they decided to do it. It just happened to be that way, but my God.
Where did you go to school?
Center for International Education.
Did you go to college?
I did. I went to the University of Florida.
When did you graduate?
2024.
What was your major?
Finance.
No further questions.
Okay, Frost?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sabatini, may this witness be released?
Yes, sir.
Plaintiff? Okay, thank you, sir. That may be excused. And Mr. Sabatini, may call your next witness.
Your Honor, the court be amenable to a quick 10-minute break. Real quick, we're actually almost done with our witness list too.
Yes, that would be fine. We will be in recess until 4 p.m. In essence, a closing argument. Okay, well then, understanding that the proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law that all three parties will be submitting is, in essence, a closing argument. I do want to give both of you a chance for a short closing argument. And of course, the plaintiff has a burden, so I'll let the plaintiff begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it, and I'm glad we can get this done in one day. Thank you for your time, Your Honor, making time on an expedited basis. I appreciate it. This case presents a narrow constitutional question. It's eligibility, not just qualifications like filing paperwork for the Secretary of State. This is in the Constitution, and the court needs to take special care with that. The Constitution says 7 years. It doesn't say 5 years or 4 years or 3 years. States across the country, and we'll elaborate on this in our post-trial documents, a lot of them have this, and they have different time periods, and they enforce these. including one of the cases that I cited to Your Honor in our pretrial briefings, where actually a sitting governor, when they discovered had actually voted in a different state, had to be removed because he did not meet the durational residency requirement in that state's constitution. This is something the states have done to protect their state, to have to make sure that there are strict residency that is durational. It's not just a certain amount of period of time over 10 years. It is 7 years of continuous duration. So that needs to be taken into consideration. And then when you look into the case law, including here in Florida, but also in other states, which is persuasive, what these courts are looking at, what's persuasive and what the court should put as the best evidence, is what even the courts in Florida use, is the overt acts of the individual whose residency is being challenged. Those overt acts of show intent contemporaneously as to what your mind was right then. These documents that you signed. What we heard today is we heard finally an admission, apparently, that he voted in Washington, D.C. You have to be a resident to vote in Washington, D.C. He registered, obviously, to vote in Washington, D.C. He signed in a mortgage application in Washington, D.C., including multiple pages, which included to have a notary sign on it and said that anything you're staying in here, you can be subject to penalties. Very serious documents. We also have multiple years of individual tax returns that he filed. He says it's his accountant's fault. What we're hearing today is we're hearing a story that is self-serving after the fact. It's something that the court can take into consideration, but all the case law shows that the overt acts that are contemporaneous are the important acts for the court to look at. And what we heard today on the stand was a story of blaming someone else for the tax returns. He's found tax returns as a DC resident for multiple years. That's not something that you just ignore. And I don't think that that's very credible in many respects. I think the court should take that all into consideration, but we look forward to presenting the case law and emphasizing the timeline here. Also, a lot of what you heard, Your Honor, was, and we'll show you in the post-trial briefings, was after that point in time when Mr. Fishback signed on his new house in Madison that I'm changing my principal residence from Washington, D.C. to Madison, Florida. After that, we don't dispute. That's 2022. That's still within a 7-year window before that. But if you look at the actual evidence, and we'll present it to you in the findings, facts, and conclusions of law, it is very thin of any overt acts within the time period between approximately 2019, 2020, especially into 2021, before he purchased the home in Madison. Most of what they submitted was all after that, so we spent a lot of time on that, and I get that they have the right to present that. But what Your Honor will see when you look at the whole record that was presented today is the overt acts, the declarations, notarized, official documents here, all point to a residency in Washington, D.C. for a period of time earlier on the window, but still within that 7-year window that the Constitution requires him to be a resident of Florida, whereas these overt acts all show at that time he had stated he was a resident of the District of Columbia. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sabatini.
Yes, Your Honor. Stand when I agree. Your Honor, despite the legal arguments made by opposing counsel, Florida law has been always extremely clear. There is no singular act any candidate or person can do, no singular act that in and of itself creates domicile. Every single act must be considered in the totality of its circumstances, Your Honor. Every single fact, all testimony, all
brutal
acts.
misspeak.
Voting doesn't create domicile. Buying a home doesn't create domicile. Sworn statement doesn't create domicile. I'll give you the perfect example. If I did a sworn statement right now that I lived in New Jersey, it would be a false statement. It would, although it could be very compelling to some, and some would look at that and say, well, can't believe you would sign your name to that. It's a sworn document. There are legal repercussions. It doesn't make it true at all, actually. And there's not a single act that any candidate or person can do to create a domicile. Domicile must be considered in the totality of all of the evidence presented in a case. And Your Honor, the reason why the complaint should be dismissed primarily in this case is because the voluminous, and of course this will be detailed in our closing brief, but the voluminous testimony and documentary evidence that is unrefuted in this case. And it's unrefuted for two reasons. One, it can't be refuted because it's true. It's just nothing that has a counterpoint to it. The fact that he was living in Florida, spending all this time in Florida, taking care of his grandmother, growing this 7-year nonprofit organization, maintaining contacts with these bright young people all throughout the state as they're coming up, going through college. And you heard one of them today, under the penalty of perjury, swearing to this court, again, graduating the University of Florida with a finance degree, that never once, out of the 2,000 conversations he ever had with him, did he identify, or was he led to believe that Mr. Fishback was a full-time resident of D.C. In fact, we heard, again, unrefuted testimony to the complete opposite, that he was a seasonal guy. And I thought one of the most compelling pieces of testimony from the merchant trial, very succinctly put by the man who knows the most, is...
we didn't listen, I guess, to all of the first part of this, but I mean, I feel like Fishback and his lawyers, for all of Fishback's theatrics, I feel like they made a fairly compelling argument. I wonder how normal it was. I assumed that the prosecution or the plaintiff was going to call other witnesses, or maybe maybe they called theirs first. Did we miss them? I don't know. It seems weird to let all of the other testimony just go completely unrefuted. If his statement of law is correct, that this is a totality of fact analysis, and like the fact that he voted and the vote might have been a fuck up and he wasn't allowed to, but he didn't realize it. When you have like all these other, they had 2 other people testifying, and then all of James's testimony for everything. If you just let all of that stand, I mean, I don't know. Does that not win him this case pretty easily? I would think.
Father, Mr. J. Fishback, that he treated the apartment in D.C. like an office. It was literally like an office. And Your Honor, historically, when you signed a residential mortgage, it was a living quarters. It was a place that you resided most of the time. And guess what? The whole world changed in March of 2020. And you and many people in the world today are signing residential mortgages for properties that are primarily used as a virtual office. And of course, that's what Mr. Fishback did. He got this office. He didn't furnish it. Again, unrefuted testimony, never furnished it. He had a bed in there to occasionally sleep. And he would network in D.C. as he was going to New York and back to Florida and doing the things he was doing over and over again. And continuing this pattern of going back to D.C. He went out for college, he went out for visits, he went out to live with his parents for a period of time to get away from his grandmother who he didn't want to harm during COVID. Going up again to get this real estate investment property. And then, of course, still to this day, literally still going up to D.C. for long periods of time. Never once did we see any evidence that Mr. Fishback made a bona fide, good faith decision to leave the state of Florida. He never once wanted to permanently leave. In fact, he always had his heart in Florida. His number one, most time-intensive endeavor during all these 7 years was growing this nonprofit in 33 or 34 out of Florida's 67 counties, which is quite the enterprise, with at least 3 major events a year and a host of employees. So Mr. Fishback was never wedded to D.C. It was simply a networking opportunity that panned out pretty well, probably had some good experiences there, and now he's got a great low-interest investment property, but never once was it where his heart was, his mind, and most importantly, where he spent his time. We didn't hear any testimony. In fact, again, quite the opposite, that he actually worked, that he never actually worked physically in D.C. He had a remote office in D.C. doing virtual work in other places, partly back in Florida. But never once did he actually go up there to clock in, clock out. He was never necessarily wedded to that place. It was just an opportunity and a time to spend time with family. So again, going back to the case all the way back to 1857, one of the first residency cases in Florida, it's the burden of the plaintiff to prove a pretty serious subjective intent. I think the court will find, if it hasn't already with our opening briefs, that most of the residency cases are courts not striking people from the ballot, not striking somebody for saying that they don't live there. In fact, Perez versus Marti, one of the more significant recent ones, the individual was struck in that case, but I think it's very instructive to explain why. It was a candidate, it was a person claiming he lived in a house that he uncontested, it was an uncontested fact in the case that he had never lived in before, had no ties to, never spent any time to, and it was the second house he named in a 10-day period for where he lived. So he obviously said he lived there, that he claimed he lived somewhere else. So the court was right to strike that candidate because there was no overt act, there was no evidence, and it was a very pitiful explanation of a subjective intent to be wedded to the place. It was obviously not an opportunistic thing in order to make the ballot running for school board race in Miami County. Most of the other cases, especially the most similar case, Bloomfield, show the court going in the opposite direction. If somebody has a bona fide subjective intent to live in a place and they're claiming it in their heart and in their mind, that's it. That's it. And again, Smith versus Kroon, the original 1857 residency case goes back to the law dictionaries. I think Black's Law Dictionary, which quotes even further law, back to the Roman ages and the Roman law, the Roman canonical law. And in the Roman law, the argument was from the beginning, residency exists where the person's true home is. And it actually describes the physical things that you would have in that place. And again, unrefuted testimony from Mr. Fishback in this case, his own father testified that when he bought that place in D.C., he never brought his belongings to D.C. He brought them later to the city of Madison when he made a permanent decision to buy a house there. Not the temporary work office / kind of residential area in D.C. They went from his childhood home to his grandmother's home where he was a caretaker, which of course is corroborated by the receipts in the case, and then to his now permanent home he shares with his wife in Madison, Florida. So the voluminous amount of unrefuted testimony,
he says,
established that this complaint should be dismissed. Now, of course, I would argue that the two most significant facts the court does have to deal with that are counter to our position is that Mr. Fishback did in fact sign 2 documents that can get him a host of legal problems. One, swearing for a mortgage that he lived there, and another one to vote there. But he heard, and of course it was unrefuted again, that he's seeing boilerplate language. He's not reading it. It's not being read to him. There are no lawyers in the room. There are no witnesses. There are no attestations of anybody that he truly understood what's going on. He's pushing his finger on an electronic device, not even registering his own party, which of course he very well known as a member of one party over the other. He's pushing a button in order to vote in a national election because he couldn't make it back to Florida in time. And the other document...
Man, I wonder, because I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but like he makes himself sound like so knowledgeable on everything. Like, I worked at a hedge fund and we knew the interest rates, and so obviously the mortgage, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, damn, man, you seem like a smart guy and you know a lot of shit. So how did you not know how to sign your mortgage documents? I don't know. I wonder if that hurts him or not. I don't know. Maybe the judge doesn't give a fuck or whatever.
The mortgage payment, he's making a fast financial decision to get the money in his pocket so he can make an investment quick while interest rates are low. He's not actually has any understanding. There's no evidence to pertain or to show this court that he had any understanding that he was making a true legal attestation.
Do you want Fishback to win this? I mean, I want whoever's in the right to win this. I don't have like a strong opinion on whether or not he gets stricken from the ballot like this. Yeah, I don't have a strong investment one way or another.
The prosecutor in D.C., based on the merit of his testimony, the honesty of his testimony, could look at this and say, you know what, he got that mortgage and he voted there, and so we have jurisdiction to investigate him and to potentially bring a claim against him, a cause of action, a statute or indictment against him. He said today, under oath in this court, that if that's what happens, that's what happens. But he knows, and he testified, that if he said it wasn't true, that he'd be lying to you, Your Honor, this court. He would be lying to the people of the state of Florida if he said today that he was a resident at that time, because he was not. And he's not willing to lie. And again, that's unrefuted testimony in this case, Your Honor. And we hope that the court dismisses the complaint.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sabatini. Well, let me just say 2 things before we wrap up. First, I think it is much more difficult for attorneys to outline legal arguments and develop facts when you have literally a fire sale timeframe. I mean, you just, I don't know of any other case, other than an election case like this, where lawyers are forced to move so quickly.
Oh my God, this judge is a glazer, dude. Holy shit. You guys have done a great job. Congratulations. My goodness.
And I just want to say, I thought the briefing papers, and you filed detailed briefing papers, I thought they were timely, first of all. Secondly, they were well-written and well-researched. I think you've done your clients a great service, because the work product I saw from the attorneys in this case was very, very good. Makes my job a little harder, but very good. Vince, a great service, because the work product I saw from the attorneys in this case was very, very good. Makes my job a little harder, but very good, very good, and I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to say is, I'm tempted to see if I can get you to agree to get me the proposed orders quicker than what I said in my scheduling order. I think I said 5 days after the hearing. Is that right?
Your Honor, you said 3 days.
I said 3?
So I think I looked at Friday, which is reasonable. We have some travel, but you said 3, I believe, in your order.
Okay. Well, we probably can't get shorter than that unless you want to.
How fast can the court reporter get turn the transcript?
That I don't know.
If you need expedited, we can get it ready by tomorrow.
We'll take expedited tomorrow.
Yeah, Your Honor, I think Friday is reasonable.
We can turn it to you by Friday.
Thursday would be tight.
Mr. Sabatini, by 5 p.m. Friday, can
My client wants Thursday, I want Friday, but I have to go with my client, so Thursday would be fine, and we'll do an expedited order also.
Thursday okay with y'all?
If tomorrow's Wednesday, we get it tomorrow, it might be tight, but I prefer.
We have a day of travel in there, Your Honor.
We better go with Friday. It's going to be tough to get it by Thursday.
Jeez, it must be nice. An agreed upon proposed order. When they say proposed order here, it's like an order for the case for how they want the judge to rule, I guess. Must be nice to have meet and confers where the lawyers actually talk to each other and try to come to some kind of mutual agreement. I still can't. It's funny now in retrospect, looking back on, now that I understand a little bit more for like civil procedure stuff, the fact that we had a meet and confer so early in my court case, and the day after the first meet and confer, Pixie's lawyers dropped a motherfucking TRO without even mentioning it to us. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, bro. Kill me. What a joke, dude.
Let's go with Friday, 5 p.m.
I appreciate that.
And so, Microsoft Word format, attached to an email, sent to my judicial assistant. And
get snarked, true.
I can assure you that whatever it takes, I will have a very, very prompt order for you. Most likely within 48 hours. And if that requires no sleep, then so be it. But you have to get a ruling quickly. This is a case that just cannot, we can't have any delays.
Must be nice, yeah.
If you get me the proposed orders by 5 p.m. Friday, I will hope to have an order for you by 5 p.m. Monday.
Jesus.
Saying that, but I think it's necessary. Is there anything else that we need to do today, or that I can do for the parties to help make this a fair, full and fair proceeding? And
okay, can I transfer?
And to make it as efficient as possible for you as we wrap it up. Anything else I can do?
Your Honor, a very small thing, and it's just me nitpicking because I want to get it right, is you said...
Is this a local judge, too?
For you as we wrap it up. Anything else I can do?
Your Honor, a very small thing, and it's just me nitpicking because I want to get it right, is you said Microsoft Word attached to an email. PDF is okay, I assume I always want to put it in a PDF, so it's a final document.
I would prefer Microsoft Word, but if it has to be PDF, that'll be okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Madam Court Reporter, is there anything that you need from anybody? No? Okay. Right, thank you for your good work on this case. I'll be keeping my eyes open for the proposed orders. Good luck to all of you, and have a good rest of your day, and we are adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can't wait for the hearing to go amazingly, for the judge to chastise the opposing counsel, for them to get another vicious ruling on their motion, and then for the judge to tell me in 3 to 4 months, I'll let you guys know what I think. What's up?
What the fuck are you doing here?
Snarking after hours.
Yeah, boy.
I'm trying to steal
All
viewers
right.
from Darius.
I love snarking after hours.
Although
Always snarking.
there's like a weird. I'm hearing my voice in your thing though. I don't know why.
Ooh, hold on.
But it's kind of cool. I like hearing myself as much as possible.
No. Okay. Better?
Yeah, so much
better. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Awkward. After hours snarking is my favorite thing, actually. That's when the best snarking happens.
Really?
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
People are tired. They're you know, they're not, their mind's a little bit slowed down.
True.
They're not at their sharpest. And it's where you can go in for the attack. Like that.
Absolutely
And
true.
You catch them lacking.
Speaking of, we're about to catch some Jews lacking. Hold on.
What? I don't
These
like the
aren't-
sounds of that.
Israelis aren't just settlers in Israel. They're moving and colonizing the world.
Parts of their town are being taken over.
Pushing local limits in Thailand. Zionist territories in the north of Cyprus.
From backpacking trails in South and Southeast Asia
Backpacking trails.
Disappearing to the world.
to quiet European mountain towns, you'll find Israelis. We've mostly seen them take two forms. The war criminals fresh from service.
Then they go to detox in India.
And the liberals fleeing what they claim is a failing democracy.
Back to Brooklyn. Oh, no, never. They're going international. Never mind.
On the surface, they couldn't seem more different. But watch how they move through the world.
Watch.
And you can see how Zionism
like a
produces a
shared screen
particular
here.
relationship to land and other people. One that is exploitative and violent, and that is not limited to Palestine. Between the two, one shows us how settlers act, and the other, how they think.
Jesus. Dan, what the fuck?
What do you want me to say? We just want some land. All right? Is that so wrong? We have so little and you have so much. I don't know what we're talking about, but I don't endorse.
Uncivilized. YouTube. 431,000 plus. I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to come across as like Islamophobic, and because she's brown, right? And I'm like, I wonder. It would be funny if she's a Muslim complaining about Jews, like spreading their stuff around the world when fucking Islam was founded on conquest and Judaism is famously anti-proselytizing. But and then I go to this channel and this video, how Israelis are colonizing the world. The next video that came right before is why Muslim women need saving. What? Oh, and the next one is how AIPAC will fall. Jesus Christ.
Is this a
Israelis
real channel?
Like, is it like AI?
No, I mean, like, is it like real engagement?
I don't know. Why this town is fighting an army for a flag and winning.
Wait, yeah.
How
How does
Nas
it go from
Daily lies for Israel.
Wait a minute. 6,000 views to 700,000?
Yeah, and then 154,000, 62,000, 7.2. It's just what hits the algo, I guess. Or some of it might be about it. This Nas Daily guy is like the most famous. Does he even look like that? Wait, has he been like Jewified in that thumbnail? Am I crazy? I met this guy. Wait, what the fuck?
Hi, my name is Salim Barahme, and
Bruh, it's the Muslim Stark channels. Oh shit.
This is my Palestinian ID. I love it so much. Israel gave it to me, even though I live in the West Bank. I don't have access to my own sea or an airport in my own country, but an Israeli with a blue ID can go wherever they want. Who cares about the oppression? I'm a dreamer. Welcome to Israeli apartheid, where your freedom and rights is decided by your ethnicity and the color of your ID.
Damn, they got this shit fast. Wait. Never mind.
Say it.
No, I mix up the Russian and the Israel dates sometimes. The October 7th was in 2023, not 2022. So this was a year before the October 7th attacks even. Damn. I thought they made this like 20 days after October 7th. I'm like, holy shit. But this was a month, or this was a year before.
And that's been 1 minute. Welcome to Salim Daily. Insufferable, right? This is the fake positivity and the gap year vibes that have made this man
Colonization is terrible!
a social media star with millions of views.
Nas Daily is above politics and it's above hate.
But now he's taking on a more serious and controversial topic.
Genocide.
This is the most controversial video.
Okay, I just want to watch this Israeli one. Because this sounds crazy.
Aren't just settlers in Israel. They're moving and colonizing the world.
Parts of their town are being taken over.
Pushing local limits in Thailand. Zionist territories in the north of Cyprus.
From backpacking trails in South and Southeast Asia,
Children are backpacking, disappearing to the world.
to quiet European mountain towns, you'll find Israelis. We've mostly seen them take two forms: the war criminals fresh from service,
And then they go to detox in India.
and the liberals fleeing what they claim is a failing. How they one show. For decades, tens of thousands of young Israelis have been going to South and Southeast Asia every year. It's a rite of passage for recently discharged soldiers known as the Big Trip. See, when Jewish Israelis graduate from high school at 18 years old, most of them are required to serve in the occupation forces. And after spending 2 or 3 years, many Israelis take months off afterwards to backpack, party, do drugs, and find themselves.
Drugs.
India is one of the most popular destinations. So popular that Israelis have their own backpacking route, the Hummus Trail.
Places such as Dharamkot, Old Manali, Vashisht and Kasol have nearly half of their population of Israeli nationality.
Street signs in Hebrew, cafes serving fresh falafel and shakshuka.
What? One town called Kasol has been nicknamed Little Israel. Institutions like Chabad and others have also set up
the guy! The stickers everywhere of the dude.
One town called Kasol
I saw him.
has been
Hold on.
nicknamed Little Israel. Institution.
He's the
Yeah, that guy. He's the
guy.
Lubavitch, right?
Yeah, his stickers are everywhere. They put on all the
Yeah.
signs on the West Bank. This guy.
He's a big guy.
He's not really
okay?
dead. Whatever they say, he's not dead. He's alive somewhere.
No,
Institutions like Chabad and
somewhere.
Yeah.
others
guy.
have also set up shop on the trail.
He's one of a number of rabbis sent from Israel, the United States, and Canada to help young Israeli tourists traveling in this land of gods and goddesses to stay in touch with their Jewish roots.
An Israeli who runs a Jewish cultural center in one of the villages said, quote, "There's something in India that allows for wild freedom, like the Wild West. A sense that they can do whatever they want, be that smoking weed, driving without a license, or making noise. This is what they seek here, and many of them do exactly that, moving through communities across the region as though the usual rules don't apply."
और कई ऐसे कैफेज हाईलाइट हुए हैं जो ओपनली इंडियंस को एंट्री डिनाई करते हैं.
Locals say their livelihoods are under threat from Israelis working on tourist visas and running businesses without permits.
Some Israeli tourists are said to leave rented motorcycles on the roadside when gas runs out. Of all foreign visitors, only Israelis have managed to build a religious center where they hold parties and celebrations.
This town is completely overrun with Israelis. I'm talking 3-to-1 ratio.
Alongside reports of several businesses illegally run by Israeli citizens.
Smoking weed in hospitals, barring Thais from certain businesses, hotels, and public spaces. Wait, they've been barring Thai citizens from places in Thailand? How does that work?
Obnoxious tourists come with many passports, and towns accommodating foreign visitors exist all over the world. But with Israeli tourists, there's something else at play.
Uh-oh.
The disregard for local law, the entitlement, the disrespect. Where does all this come from? To understand the tourist, you have to understand the culture that produced them. One of the most important words to understand.
What? They should have said, to understand the culture, you must first understand the Jew.
Oh, and they bring the guy out, the German actor, and they actually get him to voice it?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Holy shit. It's also funny. You can tell this is made for American audiences because every European would just think that this video is about British people that go on vacation. Just
And in Israeli society is friar, usually translated as sucker.
You see, in Israel, being a fire doesn't just mean you're easily fooled. It's more about missing the chance to cut corners, dodge rules, or get ahead by any means necessary. In a society where bending the rules is often seen as savvy, being a fire means you're the one who plays it straight. And that's not a compliment. In fact, being called a fire is one of the worst insults out there.
that was an AI translation, right? I think. Okay.
No, there was
Jesus. I support everything. I support literally. Fuck me.
There doesn't seem to be shame about exploiting someone else.
I'm on that person's side. No Rule 5
I
after
love
midnight.
God.
Okay.
I love
Jesus.
Israel.
The shame
Just
is in
kidding.
allowing
Just
yourself
kidding.
to be exploited. That mentality is so ingrained, it has another name as well, the success method.
So I have a tiny dog named Lily, and I like to go on errands with her. When I went into my local Supersol grocery store, they told me that I had to hold her if I wanted to come in. So the next time I went there, I looked for the person that told me this. When I couldn't find them, I turned around like I wanted. So what was I doing that's just so Israeli? It's which translates to success method, meaning doing what I want until someone tells me otherwise.
I see how I'm getting in without just standing all the time.
The assumption is that there's no harm in trying to push a boundary.
Oh, Israelis are the only rude fucking people in the Mediterranean? Israelis are the only rude fucking people in all of... Okay. Who is the intended audience for this video?
And if nobody stops you, you've...
I was half joking about the British thing. I don't know this personally, obviously, but everything I read online and from people that live especially in Southern Europe is everybody hates British tourists. I don't know why or how true that is, but it's just like the thing that.
Oh wait, no, I thought it was Chinese people are supposed to be like the worst.
Maybe I don't know how many Chinese
when
people
it comes
there
to etiquette
are.
for.
I've just heard that British people are
shit.
incredibly. They're obnoxious. They're very entitled. There's a fuck ton of them come like vacation time. I don't know how true that is. I just know for like I hear people in like France and Spain complain apparently a ton, but they could just hate Brits. So. Somebody tells me, and by somebody I mean my Mossad operative, my YouTube editor, says his channel is Qatari-based.
Needed. Today, more than 700,000 Israeli settlers live in the West Bank and East Jerusalem.
We can see this philosophy clearly in Palestine, in the relentless expansion of settlements, and in the continuous testing of what the world will tolerate. Pushing these boundaries
wild,
requires
bro.
a violence that doesn't remain confined to Palestine.
Sorry.
It travels with the settlers.
Okay.
Ah.
I love Palestine.
That's my money, okay? Build your country. Oh, wow.
The residents of Shargau Island reported unruly and rude behavior from a group of Israeli tourists.
A pro-Palestinian flag hanging outside a cafe in Siargao. A group of Israeli tourists allegedly destroyed CCTV cameras, threw rocks, and violently assaulted the owners.
There's a hostility and aggression so similar across all these clips. One that seems to exist in another form in the colony as well.
I ordered shakshuka.
Oh, and what is this?
Pizza.
And what did you order?
Shakshuka.
And what is this?
Pizza. In Israel, we don't say, excuse me, do you know where my coffee is? I've been waiting a while. We say.
There's this image that Israelis seem to have of
Oh, hi, what's up?
Hey. Who the fuck is that? I gotta click into Discord now.
Oh, you know who it is.
Oh!
It is I.
Hey. Vegan,
What up?
You know that you were proven 100% correct on the way that we handled ourselves in Venezuela. Did you see that?
Yeah? How so?
Did you not see all the articles that came out?
No. What's been going on there?
The Havana syndrome shit, the gun that we used, how we went in there, how effective it was,
That Havana
all of
syndrome
that.
shit is never going to be proven real. It is the fakest thing I've ever
okay.
heard
So
in my
what,
entire
Destiny? We
life.
just fucking went in there instantly and somehow did all this magically?
Did
that
all
was
what?
like, I can't explain it as good
Trump
as fuck.
did mention the discombobulator. I don't know if they have some weird thing that makes everybody go sick and incapacitated.
Wait, did he call it the discombobulator?
Yeah, he called it the discombobulator.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. There could be something where they have some new energy weapon. Like I know they've used sound like there are sound, weapons that are meant to disperse crowds. Like I guess it's plausible that they have some kind of energy weapon that just fucks people up. I have no idea how it would work. The Havana syndrome thing, though, I have no idea. With there's not many cases of people really talking about it. It's a little weird.
So what's got you fired up today? Hold on, let me you got a camera on. Hold on. How do I see this?
Well, I was wondering how you guys are feeling about the DSA commie invasion of the Democratic Party.
Not good. Not good. I think it's a fucking travesty. It's about the same thing as if the Green Party started coming in here trying to tell us how to fucking run our business. You ain't part of us. Get the fuck out of here. All right? You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's what they do. The commies infiltrate. They try to take over every fucking group. Kind of happened in the vegan community. There's a lot of the commie fucking retards with the intersectional bullshit that tried to take over the vegan community. They just do that in every community. They tried to do that with the atheist community online. That was a big thing a while ago.
Happened with the sex worker community. Pretty annoying, but yeah.
Yeah. So, do you still think Christian nationalists are the bigger problem?
Holy fucking shit. You see what this motherfucker's wearing, Steve? Look at his camera.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
Do you see him?
Yeah, I don't know what it's a mask of.
He's a fucking supervillain.
I am Soya the Destroyer.
Can you fucking show people this?
No, my setup is way too complex. I'm not equipped to fucking do fucking
Don't worry.
cameras right now.
Vegan Gains, I'm gonna take a photo of you.
All right.
This is awesome. Holy shit. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm on trend right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty great.
Just know, chat, that I can see this and you can't.
Yeah, so Destiny, you still think Christian nationalists are the bigger problem?
I mean, it depends on what you mean by bigger problem.
Well, look, the way I see it, you have Christian nationalists that are fucking retarded. And you have the DSA, which is infesting the Democratic Party with their fucking bullshit, and they're masquerading as progressives. If you have something that is even more retarded, you're not going to be able to win. So, again, seeing the future ahead, worst case scenario, the Christian nationalists get what they want. What are they going to do? They're not going to allow for any fucking Muslims to come into the country. Oh, God, no, we need cultural enrichment. Okay, wait, everybody fucking wants that. Okay, they might get people to read the Bible in school and get rid of that constitutional thing.
I'm going to go full race
kids...
realist on this one. I'm sorry, but, like, the biggest problem with the Christian nationalists is that the genetic stock that ideology attracts is too unappealing. I would rather live with a whole bunch of my Somali brothers literally in Somalia. I would leave this country.
How's Somalia compared to any Christian nation?
I don't know. What Christian nation you're talking about? Certainly not the United States of America, which was the product of Enlightenment thinking, which was a rejection broadly of all the cringy fucking Christian values. What are you talking about?
Well,
hold on.
Let's go back in history.
I just want to hear this. Do you think right now?
Let's go back in history.
Do you think right now in the United States of America, when you look at who encompasses the Republican Party right now, are these the best and the brightest that the white race has to offer?
That has nothing to do with what I'm fucking saying.
Okay, well, that's how I view it. So you can have your opinion, but that's how I view it. This is just my opinion. You can have your opinion. I don't want to live with retards.
Well,
I'd rather live among
that's
other people.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
You can have your
Muslims
opinion,
aren't retards?
If their religion conquers the world, apparently they're doing something right.
So you're telling me you'd rather live in a fascist Islamic dictatorship where women have to wear fucking burqas, gay people are thrown off fucking rooftops, math and fucking science is banned because it's not haram. What other fucking retarded shit they do?
I don't know, but every single thing you just said describes all the Christian nationalists as well.
Yeah,
they also fucking hate gay people. They want to
no.
turn women into fucking baby incubators. They think getting pregnant at 15 is actually fucking based. They don't believe in math or science. That's why they don't fucking get vaccinated anymore. They don't know the difference between measles and how many 9-year-old Muslims are getting pregnant? Well, it depends. Really, the age of consent in the United States is whatever somebody in the Conservative Party thinks is the youngest girl Trump has fucked. So if a 9-year-old comes out that Trump's had sex with, they're going to be defending that next. I'm sorry.
Buddy, you honestly think if Christian nationalists gain power in the United States, your average fucking person walking around is going to be motivated to, get 15-year-olds fucking pregnant?
But, buddy, isn't the head of our Department of Education right now? She looks like somebody that would have a personal relationship with you as a fucking WCW fucking supervillain. She was like the fucking WWF wife. What do you want me to say, bro? RFK Jr. is our Secretary of Health. What do you want me to say, bro? This is not the party of high intelligence, high IQ people that I want to be associated with if this is my country going forward. I'll take my chances with MBS.
Guess what? Worst case scenario with a Christian nationalist system, most things will carry on as normal. Worst case scenario with the DSA bullshit, you're just going to have crime, poverty, and an Islamic invasion. So what's better?
5 prayers a day? I'm coming, baby.
There was
the original point that I was going to make, I came here to make, is that, look, Christian nationalists are fucking retarded, but the DSA is even more fucking retarded. So, if you're not going to fucking deal with the problems in the Democratic Party, communism is probably the worst vile fucking ideology that's ever spread across planet Earth. If you're not going to deal with the fucking issues within the own party that make it completely and utterly unviable to beat Christian nationalists, then Christian nationalists aren't the fucking problem. Your own party's the fucking problem. People like Hassan, invading the Democratic Party, where you have fucking AOC and Bernie Sanders willing to fucking work. I don't even know why fucking Bernie Sanders is still working. He should be yelling at skateboard kids on his fucking porch. But like again, this is like it's gotten so fucking popular that this geriatric fuck is able to revitalize his career by saying Israel is like some fucking horrible evil, and we need to allow Iran to spread terrorism across the fucking world. Like that's how fucking retarded this DSA bullshit is. And again, Christian nationalists aren't the fucking problem. They're stupid, but a stupid problem is easy to fix if you're not also a fucking retard. So, I think you need to focus a lot more of your fucking effort into stomping out these fucktards that are infesting the Democratic Party. And the infestation of this commie bullshit is just through the fucking roof. Like, I don't think anybody realizes just how bad it is. Right now,
I
there's
need
some
to stop you
Democrats.
right there, Mr. Gaines. But who the fuck do you think you're talking to saying that we need to spend more time focusing on fucking DSA and leftists? You gotta hold on and put that mojo back in your pants, because this is the we hate fucking communist place and they need to go. All right. If you're at the we need to focus on Trump only and commies have no we shouldn't do it, that's infighting, that is not this channel, sir. Don't buddy me,
this guy is literally reciting commie fucking DSA talking points.
I am.
Like last time I fucking debated Destiny, he was saying we shouldn't, like, if all the political circumstances were the same, he'd be against invading North Korea, just the same way he'd be against invading Venezuela because it would violate their sovereignty. This fucking asshole is literally reciting DSA fucking talking points. So guess what? The brain rot's infected fucking Destiny. And I don't know if it's actually infected his brain or if he knows a lot of his own fucking audience is pro like this DSA fake progressive bullshit, and he's grifting. But guess what? Destiny is reciting this like commie brain rotted DSA fucking bullshit.
Which thing? Which part?
Well, his stance on Venezuela, like
I know
again,
it's appalling. But what else besides that?
Well, and Iran. The fucking whole
appalling.
Iran thing.
Yeah,
like, look,
ridiculous.
Trump did not handle the Iran thing perfectly. But the idea that he should not have fucking invaded Iran and, done this military operation against them, it's fucking retarded. And again, here's Destiny. Oh, we're violating their sovereignty. Why are we starting foreign wars? DSA talking point, DSA talking point, DSA talking point.
He does got you there, Steve.
True.
Those are talking points
That is
of
true.
the DSA.
They do talk. They do be talking those points.
You see, he's not taking you seriously.
So
I agree.
So
They
good
are
job.
talking points.
Keep helping to destroy the Democratic Party. Just spout bullshit about fucking Trump that nobody fucking cares about.
Yes, sir.
Even when Trump's doing something good, even when it's politically and geopolitically necessary, and then keep spouting DSA talking points. And then when mainstream Democrats lose fucking elections, and you have these fucktards running these cities, turning them into crime-ridden fucking broke shitholes. And then you complain about it. Well, it's your fucking fault, dude. You're the one contributing to it.
Fucking A.
I think you need to hop on testosterone.
I do. I'm feeling,
You're making me.
feeling
You're
pretty
making
low,
me.
too.
Honestly, can I look like you? How much do I have to take to look like you? I mean, minus the skin pigmentation, obviously.
Well, I'm on. Well, you'd have to do more than just take what I'm taking. It's a whole lifestyle and everything. But I'm on 525 milligrams of test a week. Been running 105 milligrams of Boldenone with that. And a couple weeks ago, I also Boldenone.
I don't know what that is.
Yes, walk us through the whole stack. Good, Dan.
A couple weeks ago, I added in 200 milligrams of Masteron and 100 milligrams of what's called Trenbolone. And I'm on growth hormone.
I feel like you kind of look like someone that I would see in the morning. We watch like news. I feel like I'm going to see you on one of those episodes.
Well, you might see me dropping somebody on their fucking head for being stupid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
What would you of the drugs you take? Tell me, how does each one? What do they do? Because I want to know. I'm interested. So, what's the main one? The one. You can only be on one. You got to drop all of them. What are you saying? What are you keeping?
Well, testosterone.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you low T before you started taking it?
No, I would be considered like in the middle of the normal range. I only ever got my testosterone checked once in my life, and that time I got it checked before I hopped on steroids. It was at 550 or 560 nanograms per deciliter.
I actually got
that's
mine
considered
checked
middle of the
recently,
normal range.
And mine was on the low end. I'm gonna be honest.
Go on testosterone, dude.
I mean, you're kind of making me think that it's going to have no negatives at all.
Well, it literally fucking doesn't. At least if you know what you're doing. If you take an appropriate dose, then yeah, it literally has no negatives.
There's like a cream or something, right? Like, or some,
Well, you want to inject it. The cream's kind of annoying.
Why is it
does.
annoying?
It tends to hyperconvert to DHT. It doesn't really
I don't want
aromatize
to
into
hallucinate.
estrogen. Well, dihydrotestosterone. It's not.
It'll bulge you.
It's
Not
not a
good.
hallucinogen. It may accelerate balding more than just injecting testosterone, just because of the conversion of DHT. But it also tends to ramp up your sex drive a lot more than just injectable testosterone. You kind of have to worry about who you come into contact with if you take it, because it's going to be on your hands and shit. And again, it's
I
kind of
saw that.
annoying.
You remember
it makes
that,
you super
Dan?
horny.
You know that, right, Dan?
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. What do you mean? I can't shake hands with anyone anymore?
No. Do you remember the episode with the little girl that I think she was like 7 or whatever and started to go through puberty or something weird was happening, and then you find out in the later part of the house episode that there's a guy who's using like a topical cream for steroids, and that was remember? So you know that we already knew that. We're kind of experts here, doctors basically. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right,
something like that can happen.
How
And
do you
again,
inject it? You got to do it in your veins or what?
No, it's intramuscular, so you can pretty
Right
much
in your
inject it
asshole.
anywhere technically. But the easiest injection spots are in your shoulder. So you
not
can
your
just,
ass then.
You can. That is an injection spot I use. I just alternate between my front, middle, rear delts, and left and right ventral glute.
Okay. So tell me about the first time that you started taking testosterone and the changes that you felt and how it has made your life better or worse. Let's get some honesty out there. Like, I want to know.
Yeah, sure. It's made it better in every conceivable way. So testosterone is the most effective antidepressant. It's an extremely potent drug for uplifting mood. It makes you more mentally resilient, so you're less prone to anxiety, low mood, depression. Your motivation goes up, confidence goes up, energy goes up in general, because it makes you produce more red blood cells. You'll notice that you're just more energetic, and you can just, if you're like, if you work out a lot, you just have a lot more endurance. Muscle mass increases. I gained 20 pounds of muscle in 2 months from just taking 210 milligrams a week.
But then you got to actually work out, or do you become jacked doing nothing? Like if I sit on my ass
No,
all
you got to
day,
work out.
What about if
Yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta
work out?
Am
Am I going to just start beating my wife if I just don't work out?
No, actually, testosterone makes you more mood stable. It doesn't have any effect on aggression. If anything, it makes you less prone to aggression.
Yeah, but I don't like working out. So am I going to, like, what's going to happen? Right? I'm going to take testosterone, not work out, or am I going to be like, I got to go outside and fucking power wash something right now? Is that what it's going to do?
Well, it does increase like motivation, so you might actually end up just having more physical activity.
I see.
Just because of that. What you'll notice is a lot of dudes who are on TRT for a long time, because it makes you so anabolically sensitive. If you do like any kind of work with your hands regularly, so like you wrench screwdrivers or something, your forearms tend to get a bit bigger. Like even though it's not really intensive exercise, muscles that you regularly use, if you just tinker around with things or if you walk a lot, you'll notice your calves get bigger. You'll notice your forearms get bigger, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, this is very interesting. So for me, I do this thing called snarking. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a blood sport, if you will. Not a real sport, but like a keyboard sport. And I find that, I'm concerned that, if I was to take testosterone, it might affect my decision making to the point where I'm not able to effectively snark. Because I don't want to be out there like, all right, let's throw our life away. I can't be doing that. I have to be playing strategic. So is there any of that might, any of this kind of, let's ball out type of effect? I'm very concerned with that interfering with the snark activities.
I would say men act far more rationally and coherently than women. So if you're making your hormonal profile more male, I would say you're much more likely to have a rational kind of thought pattern.
Okay. Like to me, you know how there's people that like look max? Like I'm trying to snark max. For real. I'm trying to be the #1 snarker in the entire world. And I do know that, you know, my testosterone is a factor in that. And I'm wondering if increasing it to the higher end, you know, could you know, that could affect me to be positive there, you know?
Yeah, it probably would.
Really? Okay, interesting. And you can just get a prescription for this? Or are you buying this off of like Alibaba or what?
No, it's black market.
Black market. Okay. Can I get in? I'm kind of pale. Well,
Yeah,
I guess you could say
can-
I'm swarthy. How about that?
No, you're Jewish.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, Dan.
if you are diagnosed with low test, you can't just get it prescribed from a doctor.
Okay, interesting. Well, I am low T. I'm a low T guy, but I've always hated sports and all that shit. I've never given a fuck. I don't do anything.
Well,
all
maybe
day.
it's because of low T.
True.
Yeah, but then what about if I'm that guy that starts like, you know, I'm gonna start beating my wife, having to go to the gym all the time. It's just like that's not
Well, again,
snarker shit. That's not snarker
Women
stuff.
are far more likely to commit intimate partner violence than men. So again, if you move your hormonal profile to that which is more male, I would imagine you're going to be less prone to rage freakouts like women are, and you're just going to be a more calm, level-headed person, and you're less likely to beat your wife.
Well, I'm already calm and level-headed and not beating my wife. I'm concerned that.
Well, you might be even better at it.
That you can't get better than where I'm at the top of my game. I'm just curious if there's some
Well, you
performance
don't
enhancing
know
drugs
until
that
you take the performance enhancement to make you more calm and not beat your wife.
Let me ask you this: how important is the not eating meat part of the snark maxing?
I mean, vegans piss people off, so.
I know that is true because you can claim that you're superior, but that's the only reason I'd be vegan. But then I can just lie about being vegan also, right?
People would probably find out and then just not take you seriously. So you're better
they already
off
don't.
being
They already
actually vegan and annoying.
Yeah, but they already don't know what's true and what's not. They just assume everything's bullshit. So it's kind of not even worth going through the effort, you know?
I don't know, man. I think if you live the lifestyle, they'll get much more pissed off at you because then you have that moral high ground.
I already got that on them, bro. Like, I'm married with kids, millionaire, do whatever the fuck I want all day. Like, I'm already there. Me being vegan doesn't really change it. Like, they're already fucking raging the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying
I think
to.
if you're a rich millionaire vegan with kids and wife and happy, that'd be the cherry on top. There's absolutely nothing for them to.
I'm gonna be on.
You know.
Well, I'm Jewish, you know, so you know, you say that.
Even better.
Oh, Jewish, you're already part of the way there.
Cat can't change its stripes. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, apparently Israel's the most vegan country on the planet.
There you go.
My thought is, okay, the vegan thing, the problem is if I go vegan, I feel like all that's left for me is CrossFit at that point, which is something that I feel like I would be scared to be one deviation away from that.
CrossFit's fucking lame. Just fucking
but
left.
that's like, you know, that's it. Once you're vegan, I kind of feel like that's the next thing in line from you. No? Maybe not.
No, not really. CrossFit fell off.
You know what? I'm going to go look up my testosterone results. I am fine to share this publicly. Health information. What do you think it is? How low T of a man do you think I am? I'm 40. I'm a little bit over 40. Okay, let's take a look. See.
I guess like 380.
Hold on. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta figure out how to fucking.
You just randomly go get labs done, or?
No, I had my physical recently, and I asked them to do it because I'm serious. I was like, I want a snark max. Okay, where is this stupid thing? Health. Okay, there it is. 1 second. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Gaines. I very much appreciate this consultation. Hold on. All right, I'm logging in. All right. Log in. Okay. Got to go to my labs now. Let's see.
Yo, Vegan Gains.
Hey, what? Hold on. Hey, wait.
What's up? I'll wait, don't worry.
Yeah, you got to wait. Okay, I got it here. What'd you say it was, Vegan Gains?
380.
387.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
How about that? This guy knows. You know what? I think you're a doctor. That's impressive.
Yeah, it might as well be.
That is impressive, actually. Now, what is the range when you're like around 43, give or take.
Well,
41
it really
to 43,
depends.
that range, you know?
It really depends. Like the ranges don't really matter. So when you look at prospective cohort data, men who have higher testosterone have better health. So less likely to have heart disease, diabetes, cancer, especially prostate cancer, and they live longer. So the maximum like normal that you'll find in the population is going to be about 1,800. There's some people who naturally produce tests that high. When you do the statistical calculation to like average things out within the 95th percentile, the top of the range tends to be around 1,200. So you at least want to be right around there at the top of the range. So if you're going to go on
1,200.
testosterone replacement therapy, you probably want to target that.
1,200 is
shit.
95th?
Dude, I'm looking at this chart and it says people in their 20s, the average testosterone is 600.
Yeah,
you want me
12
to be double that? I'm going to be fucking out
You're gonna
like
be a
fucking
monster,
every 15
bro.
minutes.
My test is over 5,000 now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, last I got it checked, it was 5,100.
And what do they say about that?
They told me it's too high, and I told them, nope, I'm fine.
Then you know what would have been funny if you said they told me it was too high. And I fucking smashed their face in with a chair.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Well,
the appropriate
literally
answer.
all my other blood work is fine. My cholesterol is low. My blood pressure is normal. My hematocrit actually hasn't gone above 48. It's well within the normal range.
Okay.
So they're freaking out at me, and I'm like, okay, what problem is it going to cause? Nothing on my blood work is suggesting anything that I have any health issues, and then they had nothing to say.
Damn.
Interesting. Well,
Just snarked. You just snarked the doctors, Dan. You could be doing that.
Yep.
I mean, I could. You know, we don't really see you out on the internet streets there much, Mr. Gaines. You kind of seem to have a quiet presence online. Is this TRT thing offline only or what?
Well, I've been mostly streaming. I just started uploading some videos again recently.
Okay.
But
okay.
yeah, haven't been bugging people that much outside of streams.
Really? Okay. So what do you do when you're not, you know, lifting things up and putting them down or streaming? I see that you have a wrestling mask on. Do you partake?
No, I do probably want to start up martial arts again, do like judo or something. But I don't know. I just thought this was cool, so I got it.
Yeah, it's cool. Is it hot though?
No, it's actually pretty comfortable. Yeah, this is a good luchador mask.
He literally just said it's cool.
Oh, that's a double entendre. Very good there.
Yeah.
Do you see how this guy is Floxy, Noxy, and Nihilipilificating me constantly for no reason?
Well, he is getting DSA brain rotted.
That is true. I mean, that's probably the reason why.
They call me the DSA #1 defender.
Okay. So, Mr. Gaines, how do you feel about kind of the latest news of everything going on here with the little political memes? How you taking all this news? Actually, what's your favorite piece of news that has dropped in the last, let's say, 2 weeks? Give yourself a little bit of time there.
I guess Trump kind of restarting up the Iran war, blasting the shit out of the IRGC.
You know, you really being into war and also trying to get rid of all the minorities is, I'm going to be honest, okay, as much as I do like the idea of better snarking, it does make me think there may be some side effects that you're not disclosing of the testosterone. I'm just saying, possibly you may be hiding some. You are hiding some of these side effects under the floorboards, are you not?
Buddy, you live in a fucking Muslim neighborhood? Yeah,
No.
exactly. So there's a fucking reason for that, because you're fucking rich and you don't have to.
Wait,
so
what's
yeah, don't
what's
give
your
me this
issues with
shit about
Muslims?
fucking kicking out minorities.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, it seems like ever since the all-natural vegan gains turned into the pump up the jams vegan gains, that he's been a little bit more, how do we say this? Less tolerant of intolerance. How would you, is it a fair way to put it, maybe?
No, I don't think that's changed.
You don't like that? You've always been this way.
Well, buddy, like I mean.
Ooh, wait, someone just gave me.
buddy.
You're a little testy. A little testy. You get that? That's a double entendre. You like that? I can't see if you're smiling.
He's not.
Like, I think it's hilarious that dudes like you and Destiny are like kind of playing this game where it's like minorities aren't that big of a deal. None of you fucking rich fucks live in a minority community, and you never would.
Wait,
and
dude, you're brown. You're a minority, no?
Kind of. Like I'm half black, half white. Like
Yeah, bro. You'd be the first one in the fucking chambers if the regulars got their way, no?
No. The minorities that everybody can't stand are the fake refugees coming in.
I just want to clarify.
Syria, Pakistan,
my city is only
shit like that.
36% white. Okay, so I'm surrounded every day by minorities.
Oh wait, that's true. There's a huge amount of Hispanics around us. I just live in a very Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm in a place called Little Israel.
The minorities that people are generally complaining about are the fucking fake refugees from like fucking Northern Africa, Syria, Pakistan, like shit like that. Those are the troublemakers, and again, you'd never live in one of those fucking neighborhoods, and you know exactly.
That's not
why.
true. I would. Ask me how much money. You would too. How much money would it take for you to go live in the middle of Little Somalia?
Right, you'd have to be paid to. You wouldn't fucking want to.
Well, I mean, I'm asking for you. How much would I have to pay you?
I don't know. Do I get to shoot anybody?
Hold on. I don't believe you've ever answered this question.
Oh, God.
Okay. I'm sorry. Vegan Gains. Don't be the guy. Okay. All right. I want to tell you a story. I need to get an answer out of you, okay? And
Sure.
It sounds like a joke, but it's a philosophical thing. We make it a little bit funny, okay?
All right.
All right. In your room there, I want you to imagine that. Have you ever seen Harry Potter by any chance?
Yeah.
You know how they have like the portal in the train station where you can run through that? Yeah. Okay. Imagine that you had a portal like that in your room, and every time that you go into this portal, on the other side of the portal, it's a magical room. Now, no one else knows about the portal. No one knows that this is in the portal. It's like a secret portal. Only you can get there. Now, once you're inside the portal, there's a dog there. Now, this can be any breed of dog in the world. It's the world's your oyster. The dog's your oyster, honestly. And here's where we separate the people that tell the truth from those that say they tell the truth, but then say, no, I can't do that. The question is, how much money would you have to get paid to fuck that dog? And keep in mind that you can come back and do it as many times as you want, right? So you can go in there, get 10 grand, come back, go in, come out. No one ever knows. So that's the question. What do you think the least amount of money is that you would even enter that room one time?
There's no amount of money you could pay me where I'd fuck a dog.
I think we just found a man that can't engage with a hypothetical. Really?
No, I am engaging.
You could think. Hear about this. I'll tell you why that's wrong. If I don't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, think about this. $100 billion. How many animal lives could you save?
Probably not that many.
With $100 trillion.
He kind of owned you on that.
Like
Dan. He owned you. Dan,
I don't think.
You could hire a fucking
anyone
army.
Really.
You could influence every fucking government on Earth to ban most meat altogether. You could put out the biggest. You could put out the world's largest ad campaign that's bigger than all ad campaigns that have ever been spent ever in the history combined times 10, saying that if you do this, that you're a pedophile, that only pedophiles eat meat. You could have one of the largest impacts on stopping animal harm in the world by far. You may be able to cut it in half with that amount of money. Even if you could only cut it by 10%. Even if you could do that 10%, think of how many lives you could save.
I'm just not convinced that you'd be able to cut down animal harm substantially with that kind of money. Even $100 trillion. Maybe realistically 5%, perhaps.
That's not enough for you?
Yeah,
to save 5% of the
think,
animals on Earth?
Yeah, I don't think that would be worth it, just because of my own personal moral failing. And
that is incorrect, by the way.
By the way, again, we already have technology that's being developed that's going to reduce animal harm anyway, like the lab-grown meat. So
okay. So for instance, that right there, that's a great thing. You could put huge amount of investment into that. Also, to be clear, you could literally just go buy every fucking farm on Earth. You could do that. You could just go there and be like, "What's your farm worth, bitch?" And they'd be like, "I don't know, 10 million." Be like, "How about 50 million? Fuck out of here." Like you could literally print yourself infinite money. So the question is, really, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, that is definitely a better argument. Like, yeah, in theory, you could possibly buy up farms. The issue is,
I mean, you could make it so expensive for people to eat meat that they naturally all become vegan. That's the only option.
yeah, the thing is, there's so many, like, I don't know on what scale that would work, because one, there's a lot of foreign buyer restrictions in other countries, so it's not like you can go to China and buy
Yeah,
up
but
farms.
if you got
You
$100
can't do
trillion,
that.
trust me, they let you grab and buy the pussy.
I don't think so. I don't think they'd let a foreign buyer buy up farmland. There's no
With
way, especially China.
$100 trillion?
I don't think China would do that.
Hold on.
Again,
How
that'd
about
be
what
a
if we
huge threat
change?
to the
What if we
CCP.
change this a little bit? Okay. So let's say you can choose. Okay. So like imagine 100, 1,000, 10,000 every single time you go back in that room and fuck the dog. 10,000 dark-skinned immigrants are deported from North America. What number would it have to be for you to fuck the dog?
Again, I just.
I mean, think about this. One weekend, you could probably almost solve most of your issues with whatever town you have.
Yeah,
You'd
like
be wrong,
the dog. Yeah, the fundamental issue with the dog fucking thing is some of these issues can be solved just through normal political means, and they are being solved. People are getting fed up with this fucking immigrant shit.
Yeah, that's slow. We were talking about the magic dog that makes it happen.
Yeah,
instantly.
I know it's slow, but the like the downside is I have to fuck a dog, and I just don't
but no
think
one
I could
knows.
bring myself to do that.
Hey, no one knows.
Well, I'd know. That's the problem.
You would know. What about, you know what? You have so much money. What about if you could forget that you fucked the dog after?
Yeah, no, but I know that I did it in that moment. So before I got the
Yeah, but
brainwashing.
well, if that's the case, you think that all surgery is immoral? Because you probably, in the second, you might know what's going on,
Well, you're not committing an immoral act by having like a nose job.
Okay, so let's rephrase this a little bit. How many animals are there you think that we eat every year? You know what? We don't even need to know. Let's just say.
I think the figure is something like 40 billion land animals.
That sounds about right. Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. We eat 40 billion land animals a year?
Yeah, the figure is 40 billion land animals, roughly. I think it might be like 41 or 42 billion get killed. And then if you include sea life, it ends up being in the trillions.
God damn.
Okay. All right. So let's just take this. Let's make it simple.
Damn, I looked it up. The AI says 83 to 88 billion land animals. God damn.
About money. Let's shrimplify this, if you will. And instead, let's say that every year, 100 animals are eaten on Earth. Okay? And that 100 can be extrapolated out to whatever amount of animals are actually eaten. So if the actual number is trillions of whatever, that would be a 100. And if the answer, the total end would be 0, that would be 0. And in between 50, etc. The question is, what number of animals would it take for you to save, just magically, finitely, to fuck that dog? And remember, this is just save. Like basically, imagine you say 100, save all the animals. So I fuck that dog once per year. That could be it. But is that really your number, or would you do it for half?
I'm not entirely sure. If you put it like that, yeah, I'd say probably like at least a quarter, at least.
A quarter.
I'd feel a
year.
lot better with a half, and then I'd feel a lot better. Yeah, but
I gotta be honest with you.
I would
Vegan
say
Gains,
I
don't
would say
even-
at least half the animals, at least.
I gotta be honest. I feel like if, even at 10%, 10% of the you bang that out in a fucking week. if you
Okay,
take
well, let me throw this right back at you. If there was a
yeah.
child in that room and you had
Uh-huh.
to essay the child in order to prevent children from getting essayed, how many children would have to be saved from getting essayed for you to essay that child?
Well, I think the way that you're phrasing the question is a little bit different, but they're
No, it's the exact same.
Well, no, because there's actually a
Dan's
second
having some
part.
trouble dealing with the hypothetical here.
No. I wanted to get to the second part of the question because it's actually getting right into what you're very good, Vegan Gains, and that's why I wanted to get right into the second part of dog warts. It's the one very few people answer, but I think that you have it in you to actually answer it. No one else. There's very few that have gone in here. You just did dog warts. You're about to get into the second level. It's called dark dog warts. Okay? Now in dark dog warts, everything is the same. Okay? Everything is the same. All the premises are the same. And everything is the same, except in this one, the dog is not into it and is not consenting in the slightest. They are howling. They are miserable.
I was already assuming that in the hypothetical.
Why would you assume that?
Why would a dog want to be fucked?
Well, yeah. Like
I mean,
they
it's
also
a
don't have
magical fucking
compatible
room.
body
I
parts.
don't know.
They also don't have compatible body parts. A human penis doesn't like properly fit inside a dog.
How do you know that?
Because he's a vegan, bro. He knows
'Cause they're
everything about
fucking
animals, you
dogs.
fucking moron. It's his job.
I hope you haven't tested that. Is that a lobster you have on your arm?
No, it's deer in knight's armor.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so, okay. Well, then going back to regular dog warts, does it get cheaper now if you know the dog's into it?
No.
you're just like, I'm okay. That's an interesting thing. All right. So, huh.
Well, it'd be the same with like the SA child situation.
Well, that's a little bit dark, you know?
I feel like you really need to push
Well,
Dan
like,
on answer that
again,
because Dan's not really. Dan's being really
Steve,
evasive about that.
I'd be curious.
Yeah, he's
you know
being
what?
evasive as
He is
fuck.
being-
I don't mean
can't
to
get
be
hypothetical.
evasive. Honestly, I've taken my sleeping medication, so I don't mean to be evasive. Steve, can you? I just want to see how a master answers the question, and then I can maybe give my poor answer.
I think the fundamental issue with the hypothetical is that you don't have an obligation to help anybody. So when you're in a situation where you have an opportunity to help, but you have to cause like harm to someone to do it, it's just a question of whether or not you care enough about helping a certain amount of beings to personally have to, suffer the burden of harming someone else, psychologically.
Sure.
So, like, again, that threshold may be higher or lower, depending on who you are.
There you go. Easy. Pretty disappointed in you, Dan.
Well, Steve, I don't think we've heard your answer. I believe the first time you actually said it, Steve, is that you would fucking a dog for, was it $75? Steven?
No, I don't think I said that. Wait, I'm sorry.
on.
My
There's
thing cut
actually-
out. Wait, did Dan answer the...
No.
Did Dan answer
that's
the
fine.
child question?
I did.
I missed it.
I did.
Well,
Oh,
that
what was his
wouldn't
answer?
surprise me, 'cause
Wait, what was
last
Dan's
time-
answer?
Well, Dan didn't answer the essay question. that I
Oh,
asked him.
interesting. Huh.
Here, hold no. Well, you're jumping around on topics. Here he is. Okay, sorry. Destiny. He started at $100 and then he landed on $1,000. Was the amount that he would have sex with a dog with each time.
Interesting.
For $1,000. And there's a link to video clips of this if you want to. We're gonna make sure that we get you edited on here. We're gonna have to establish a monetary figure equal to 25% of saving the animals. I don't know what that would be, but
I still
any
didn't hear.
thoughts?
I didn't hear an answer from Dan. Just saying.
Well, Steve is trying to push this because he doesn't want to participate
That's
in the
what I thought.
conversation.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
usually I'm the
Nothing.
person who asks the question, not the one
Disgusting.
who participates.
Absolutely disgusting.
He's doing this. You see this? He's doing this like liberal DSA thing where he tries to put it onto someone else as opposed to.
No, you're doing the liberal DSA thing by
No,
weaseling away from the question.
You know
You're
what
like
they say.
Mondani when he's
Okay.
asked about what he thinks about Hamas. Well,
true.
my main focus
In
is
a
like
way-
humanitarian aid.
Wait, that's actually crazy that you bring
big
that up
problem right
because we
now.
always call Dan like our own personal Mamdani. So it's kind of funny that he Vegan Games just stumbled onto that. Jeez.
But I don't think I've been called that. Why would I be a personal mom, Donnie? That doesn't make sense.
Because you
at
don't
all.
ever answer
He
questions.
doesn't.
Well, no.
Well,
I'm like that
at least he doesn't
Australian guy.
fake his voice.
Yeah, true. Like Dan does.
I don't
And even
think
though he has low
that's not-
testosterone, I'm sure he could bench more than Mom Downey too. Fucking pussy.
Ooh, hey, Vegan Gains, you want to know my best that I could ever do? I can tell you. So
Yeah, sure,
on benching. So when I was 19, I maxed out at 285 one time.
That's pretty good.
And I could rep 200 10 times.
That's good. That's actually a good bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my
like
19.
I
Now
said,
yeah.
I would suspect that you could bench more than Mom Donnie because he's a pussy. I don't know if you misunderstood that.
But now I don't think I could probably do one plate.
Yeah, that would still be more than Mom Donnie.
There you go, Dan.
It's not 70 years ago. I don't know why people are saying that. I'm not that old. That's a little rude thing to say. That's fine, though.
More like a Les Roux thing to say.
No. I mean, I beat Darius in arm wrestling. People think that he's pretty young and fit.
Damn.
Right? Strapping young lad.
That's
That was on
actually
camera.
impressive. Yeah, he does seem pretty fit.
Exactly,
I was hanging out
right?
with him before.
Hey, very nice guy in person, yeah? Where'd you get in a fight
yeah,
with him?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't fight him. He's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who would you like to fight?
Mom Donnie.
Mom Donnie. It wouldn't really be a fight. It'd be more like just torture for him.
Oh, I see.
I'd really like to do the Tekken King
Stop.
octopus
Wait, hold on,
stretch
chill.
on
Let's
him.
not talk about murdering politicians on my stream. Maybe that's not.
No, I didn't say I was
murdered.
murdering him. I'd say I'd like to do the Tekken move, the King octopus stretch. Yeah, look that up. Tekken 2.
I'll look it up after stream. I have a feeling I'm going to preemptively disavow it, though.
I disavow as well because I don't know what it is.
Well, guess what? His wife supported October 7th, and if he's married to her, I think he has pretty much the same view. So if he's in favor of violence, then I don't see what the fucking problem is.
I disavow.
Steve, do you support October 7th?
I'm personally a fan of 6 and 8. So, the 7 number I'm just not a big fan of. I feel like we should just skip that one. So, no.
I'd also like to.
Vegan Game, would you ever convert to Judaism?
No. Wait,
No.
what does Hussein want to say to Vegan Games?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So you have problems with Islam. If you fucked 5 dogs and Islam would disappear from the human race entirely, would you do it?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it causes like so many fucking problems. So many people get murdered, tortured, because of the ideology. Yeah, that would probably be worth it for me.
Would you do it for 4? Like if you had to fuck 6. Like if you had to fuck 6 dogs, would you do it too?
Like you can keep counting. Like I don't know when the number would stop.
What about 100?
Maybe.
Holy shit!
I mean, it's Islam.
This guy wouldn't do it for $100 trillion, but he's out here.
By the way,
100
Muslims kill dogs. I'd be saving dogs.
We don't kill dogs. I don't think that's a practice in Islam.
And they fuck goats.
He saves,
they
but he
kill
rapes.
dogs and they fuck goats. So I would be saving animals from getting raped and killed. So, along with a lot of fucking people.
Well, actually, I don't. In Islam, dogs.
Fewer animals would get raped if I raped 100 dogs and Islam went away.
But if you raped 1 dog and you would save like billions of animals, that wouldn't matter to you?
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't. Were you listening?
I was listening.
Yeah, I said I'd probably fuck a dog if, say, at least a quarter of animals were saved.
Okay. Wait,
Per year.
I just want to delve into this from Canadian to Canadian. Why do you hate Islam? Like, do you have any moral reasons, any political reasons?
Well, yeah, let's see. It's the ideology that's most responsible for terrorism. It's about 90% of terror attacks worldwide. Every single fucking Islamic country, practically, with the exception of, Saudi Arabia and a lot of the Emirate states are kind of moving away from the Wahhabism, crazy fucking wacko shit where they can't let women drive and crap like that. Yeah, they are. They are getting more modern.
Weren't they the literal top funders of terrorism in the 90s and the 80s? And they continue just because they have conflicts, that doesn't mean they're necessarily moving.
Yeah, no, that would be like Qatar, Iran, Iraq.
Wait, you don't. Wait. Hold up. You don't think that in the 80s and the 90s the Saudis were not funding like millions, thousands of terrorists? You don't think that?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Like I know that like fucking Osama bin Laden, but like his family had nothing to do with that. Like that
Where
is
do you think he got
investigated
his money
too. I don't know.
from? Where do you think he got his
Well, what do
money
you mean?
from?
He was rich,
Yeah, from his family.
right?
Yeah, so his family probably has. If you're a rich family and suddenly a bunch of money started
So
disappearing,
so like my mom gave me $300 for my birthday. If I went out and bought a fucking gun and shot a bunch of people, like does that mean she like expected me to like commit a mass shooting?
No. No. The thing with this Bin Laden family is that the construction funds were deliberately being used to fund terrorism. Like this
I'm
idea
not
that
sure.
you're not
Like,
sure.
I'll take your word for it. Sure, whatever. I haven't really looked into it much. As far as I understand, Saudi Arabia used to be a lot more aggressive, but they've modernized. They've moved away from Wahhabism. They're trying to get rid of the crazy Islamic horseshit in their country. They're like also banning cousin marriage. They're allowing women to drive. Like, they're just becoming more modern.
Do you
But
think those are cause? Wait, some of those are
most
false,
other
but do you think
Muslim
those are?
countries are like absolute fucking retarded shitholes.
Yeah, okay, number one, most of those are false, and they're not moving into substantial political change away from set ideologies. If they just use cosmetic change to say, okay, so these certain things that don't really affect the political system are banned, they're not. That doesn't change them from being still a Wahhabi state. You do understand that, right?
I like. Do they eat like? I don't think they've killed like executed any gay people in a long fucking time. I know they used to
They
do
do
that,
execute
but
a lot of people. They still
I'd have
execute
to
lots
look
of
up.
people for things
I'd
that we're
have to look up the
apostasy.
totality of executions, but like again, what Islam is known for, like these, like I don't know if they still execute people for apostasy. I'd have to look into it. I don't know much, but I do know they are kind of modernizing, and they're some of the Saudi whatchamacall ambassadors to the US, EU, they've talked about how they like you shouldn't let all these crazy Muslims into your fucking country. So it seems like they know about the problem with radical Islam, and they're making it like
I
they're
do. It's a
deliberately trying to
little
move away
funny.
from that.
It's a little funny when they were the ones funding all the radical Muslims, and then like 5 years
Well, again,
later,
okay,
yeah,
if that
like
was in the
broken
80s and 90s, we're not talking about the
early
80s and 90s.
2000s
I'm talking
too.
about how
Early
they're
2000s too.
modernizing. I have no, like, I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Wait,
Sure.
so okay, wait. So do you think that if a lot of the Muslim countries just kind of modernize in the way Saudi Arabia is without changing
So,
any of the
like, I don't know. I don't
Wait,
understand what
why are
this
you
has to do with
interrupting?
my opinion. You're trying to convince me that I should erase all Muslim states. Okay, sure. I'll snap my fingers
No.
or
I'm
fuck a
just, I'm just
dog.
trying to have
And
you. I'm just trying to explore your position. It feels like it's not very well thought out, or feels like you haven't. It's
you're
more
not even
based on.
talking about my position. You're asking me about
No, let's talk
specific
about.
fucking political
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
about Saudi
When
Arabia that
whoa,
I told you
whoa.
I from what I
Don't wait. Don't worry.
understand, they're modernizing a little bit, and you're telling me they're not. Like, okay, I'm not
Well,
sure.
you set an example, and I push back on that example. Do you just speak in broad generalities
That
all the
that
time?
has nothing to do with what my fucking position was. You're asking
Okay,
me
let's explore your
specific.
position. What are your
You're
problems with Islam, like religiously, theologically?
theologically, okay, it's basically a fucking war manual on how to create like how to expand a tribe and steal money from fucking people or kill them if they won't give up fucking jizya. That's the fundamental
Okay,
fucking core of Islam.
that's the fundamental core of Islam.
Yes, jihad.
What
Jihad is
jihad
the
is a
fundamental core of Islam. The religion was made to steal wealth. That's
was made
all it
to
was
steal wealth.
for. So you're supposed to go to war with neighboring nations or tribes, force them or threaten them with war, and force them to pay a jizya. If they won't pay the jizya, then ideally you will conquer them and kill them and steal their fucking wealth.
Okay, wait. What
That
do you
is the
think jizya
fundamental core
means?
of Islam.
What do you think jizya means? Just for the audience.
It's basically
If you
a
could
fucking
define it.
tax for non-Muslims.
Okay, what do you think that tax rate is?
It
Let's delve
depends.
into the mind of vegan game.
It's
If you can.
whatever that they feel that you can afford. That's essentially what it is. It's basically like a
Okay,
fucking mafia.
well, actually, it's like 1 to 5%, so it's not that much, and it's not based on the whims of.
Oh, it's not that
So
bad
you're
then.
wrong. You're
Being
wrong.
forced to pay money or you get put to death. It's not that bad. Okay, so
Well,
where do you
isn't that
live?
the whole state system like nowadays?
So
Like
where do
in
you live
every
and how
country,
much
if
money
you
do you make?
Why does that? I live in Canada.
Well, I'll only take about 5%, is what I'm saying.
It's less than Canada takes.
Yeah, no, but you do understand. All states enforce laws through force. You do understand that. So what is this? What is your substantive difference between the Western states enforcing tax laws?
Again, jizya is not something that's going to supporting some sort of like fucking train station being built. Again, it's to extract wealth. It's to extract wealth and put it in the pockets of Muslims.
The wealth in their tummy?
It's to extract wealth from non-Muslims. Again, it's like what the fucking Nazis did when they tried to steal wealth from the Jews.
Okay, so none of the wealth goes back in the community. It just disappears or just stays in like a bank account somewhere.
It could potentially.
Wait, but you just
again, you're talking about you're talking about
or...
societies. You're talking about societies that are somewhat fucking mixed. So yeah, some of it may. But again, the idea that you pay a special tax on the basis of your fucking religious belief. You're saying that non-Muslims, like, that's totally fucking reasonable and sensible? Can you tell me one fucking Western nation, like modern liberal Western nation, that forces you to pay a special tax on the basis of your religious belief? And you're trying to argue that that's not fucked up? And again, if you don't pay the tax, you get fucking killed.
No, you don't get killed if you don't pay the tax. That's just...
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Source?
And again, show like the amount of fucking Muslim apologists online, like fucking Muhammad Hijab, who's literally stated flat out, if you don't pay the jizya, then you get fucking killed.
So your source is like YouTuber.
So you're telling me Islam isn't that bad because you don't see a fucking moral problem with forcing people to pay a special tax on the basis of their religious belief.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying
you're wasting my fucking time. You're a fucking retard. So what else do you want to fucking ask me?
Dude, I didn't even get to finish, dude.
You're not finishing anything. You're asking me stupid fucking questions and pushing back on fucking retarded horseshit. I fucking told you there's a problem. I fucking told you there's a problem with jihad, and then you're trying to convince me it's not that bad to force people to pay a special tax because of their fucking religious belief.
It really does feel like you're like conflating different terms. You don't know what's happening. Maybe like the testosterone.
I don't know what's happening. No, please explain to me why it's not a fucking problem to force people to pay a special tax on the basis of their religious belief, and if you don't pay it, you kill them.
Okay, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Okay, I can't believe I'm about to do fucking Islam apology. So jizya was seen as an advance in modern rights because the idea was a normal Muslim can pay a tax into a Muslim society, but another religious person can't. So you either forcibly convert them into Islam or you kill them. Jizya, or the idea of having like these protected religious minority groups who are theoretically allowed to practice their own religion within Muslim societies, but they can't collect the ordinary tithing or whatever from them, so they collect a special tax called jizya, which ideally matches the ordinary ummah, the Muslim population tax. That was the point of jizya.
What's the historical source for that?
Definitional. Go look it up on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
That's what I'm just telling you what it is. I don't know how you want me to source it.
Okay, it's really weird that all the fucking Muslim apologists and imams explain it completely fucking differently.
Oh, those clips.
The way they explain it.
Those books you read.
Again, it's okay. Again,
how they explain it. Yeah.
Again, when the fucking people who are like literally saying they want to conquer us. And like overthrow fucking like Christian Western nations and all this fucking shit and spread Islam. The way they explain jizya is we can either have some use from you and steal money from you or you die. That's the way they explain it. They don't explain it as, oh, well, it's just some like basic tax that everybody has to pay. Then why in the fuck would this not just be some kind of like municipal tax that everybody pays or some sort of federal tax that everybody pays? Why does the concept of the jizya still fucking exist then? You're full of shit.
Well, I don't know if the concept of the jizya does exist. I don't know if it's like if this is the thing that's collected anymore in societies. I'm pretty sure they just have like
it is
religious. Okay.
It is. There are Christians living in Syria that are forced to pay a fucking jizya.
That's just okay. Do you have a source for that? I would be really curious to see that.
Yes,
or is it
the fucking news. Like the BBC has fucking gone in and interviewed Christian fucking churches, and they've asked about like jizya payments.
Okay, just as a heads up, no, Syria had a real government. They did not collect jizya from fucking Christians. That is not true.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Again.
Which regime? Let's pinpoint this.
Yeah, this so this would have been It wouldn't have been the Assad regime. There's certain areas of Syria that were controlled by the rebels, and again, the Christians were forced
if you're
to pay a
talking
fucking
about
jizya.
like places that fucking ISIS occupied, assuming they didn't just fucking kill them, they might have collected taxes from people and did that, but.
The secular Assad regime was implementing an Islamic tax, as you described, on Christians when Christians were the.
Did I say that? So you didn't listen to anything I said.
What you just said?
So you didn't listen to anything I just fucking said. Congratulations.
Dude, I think you need help, man. I don't know.
You literally didn't listen to a single fucking thing I said. So congratulations. I literally did not fucking say that.
Okay.
So again, if this is your explanation for the jizya, then why the fuck does this concept still exist in Islam? You would just have federal, state, provincial, municipal taxes.
Because that's pretty much what it does. Retard on the internet saying something is different from the actual implementation of said thing. You do acknowledge that, right?
What did you just say?
Radical sheikhs on the internet saying, "Oh, we're gonna steal all the money from the non-Muslims," is different from the.
What do you mean radical shit on the internet? These
radical
are
sheikhs, like the imams you're talking about. The thing you just said.
Yeah. So again, when all these fucking people who are literal Muslim fucking scholars and imams are fucking explaining the jizya is just a special tax where we're just going to take their fucking wealth as basically a punishment for not being Islam because that's all they're useful to us. They're fucking basically dogs, and we just have the grace not to fucking end their life because they pay us. When they explain that to you, that's the jizya, and then your argument is, oh, well, no, I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's actually this nice thing that had nothing to do with religious discrimination. I'm not going to trust the fucking Wikipedia source. I'm going to trust the people who are Muslim, who are scholars, who are imams, religious leaders, saying what it is.
Do they have any positions of political power in the Muslim world that are saying this, or are these like sheikhs on the internet living in the West?
Well, what do you mean? They're forcing people to pay a fucking jizya.
No, my question. Okay, sorry, I forgot you're retarded. My question was, do these people have political power in the Middle East to implement these taxes?
Oh, okay, I'm a retard, but it's not a fucking problem to force people to pay a special tax on the basis of religion.
Why you? No, I'm just gonna ask it again. Are these sheikhs in position of political power in the Muslim world, or are they in the West where they can't implement this possibly?
I don't know what you mean by political power, because again, there are in fact fucking religious minorities living in Muslim countries, Muslim controlled territories that are being forced to pay a jizya. So, like, I don't know what the fuck you mean by that. They are being forced to pay a fucking jizya on the basis of being a religious minority, and the whole fucking point of that is, you're useful for us, you make money, and we won't kill you as long as you give us the money.
Well, that's what you just described is all things. Is we kill you if you don't give us the money. That's like taxation, right?
Really? So if you didn't pay your property taxes, Trump is going to send someone after you to kill you?
They're gonna send me to jail.
Or I'll be jailed, yeah, at some point, yeah.
Oh, okay, is that murdering you?
No, murder is typically defined as unjustified.
Okay, so it's different. Okay, murder's different than jail. So you're talking about something completely different, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's by threat of force, I guess. I mean, yeah, you could go to jail forever.
Okay, threat of force. Okay, so jailing somebody is the same as murdering them.
Is all force the same?
No, it isn't. That's kind of the point I'm making. So why the fuck are you trying to? Why are you trying to conflate these things?
No, you're conflating it. I said
you're the one trying to conflate these two things.
Under threat of force, you have to pay taxes or convert religions or eventually get killed. I guess if you resist the police and you don't want to do it, or you can live in jail forever. I guess.
And you're trying to convince me that you're not spreading DSA fucking brain rot?
Who's spreading DSA brain rot? I don't like Islam. I'm an atheist, brother.
Oh, you don't. But it's not. But it's not a fucking problem to force religious minorities to pay a special tax on the basis of their religion, and it's not a problem to.
I think it is a problem. I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal.
Well, no, it's not. We do that here, right? We do that here, right? It's all force. It's all force.
You have no idea what any of this even mean. You're just describing some like crazy fucking kooky up version of Islam that you've.
We do that here. We jail people for not paying taxes. What's the difference from what the Muslims are doing? They kill people, we jail them. It's force, right?
It is
That's
force.
literally
Is
what you
it
just
not
said
force?
to me.
Is it not force? I'm sorry, hold on. Do you think taxes are optional in the West?
How
do you
is
think,
this
do you think
in
taxes
any
are
way
optional in the
fucking...
West? Well, I'm just curious. Do you think taxes are
in
optional in the
what
West?
way do you think that observation is salient to the discussion?
In the West.
In what way do you think that is salient to the discussion?
In the West?
In what
is
way
it really the case
do you think
that
bringing that
taxes
up is salient to
are
the
optional
discussion?
In the West? Is
In
that
what
true?
way is this
Are
salient
taxes
to
an
the discussion?
Optional thing in the West? Is it
In
optional
what
for
way
you to
is
pay
this
taxes
salient to the discussion?
In the West? I didn't know that it was
Do you think it's optional to not pay
taxes
traffic tickets?
in the West?
Do you think it's
no,
optional to
not.
drive without a
Is it
driver's
optional
license?
to pay taxes
How is
in
this
the West?
salient?
Then?
How is this
I'm just
salient
curious
to
if
the
it's
discussion?
optional to pay taxes.
How is this
Are
salient to the
taxes
discussion?
Optional.
How is this
Does
okay? So
anybody
you're
know
just
if
deflecting.
taxes are optional?
Right.
No, I'm asking a
you're just
question. Now I got an
deflecting.
answer. You can't answer the question. It's too hard for you. Are taxes optional in the West?
No, they're not. What the fuck does that have to do with what we were talking about?
And they're not optional.
What the fuck does that have to do with the issue of radical Muslims
what do they
using
do to you?
violence?
What do they do to
using
you?
violence
Is
to threat of
kidnapping
death
violence?
to fucking
Is
force
kidnapping
people?
violence? Is it violent to kidnap somebody?
Again, how is this salient to the discussion?
Well, I don't know. Is it violent to kidnap somebody?
You don't know? Okay, if
Is
you
it
don't know,
violent to
then
kidnap somebody?
there's no reason to talk. So you're just
Is
saying
it
words that
violent
have
to kidnap somebody?
Right,
Does
so
anybody
you're just
know?
saying words.
Can anybody else answer
Right,
that? Is it
I don't know.
violent
I don't
to
know what
kidnap
this has to
somebody?
do with what we're talking about,
Is
but
it
I'm just going to
violent
say it.
to
Blah, blah, blah,
kidnap
blah,
somebody?
blah.
Does anybody know if it's violent to kidnap somebody?
I'm done.
Is
I'm
it
done.
violent
I'm done.
to
You
kidnap
can't.
somebody?
You can't sensibly fucking.
Does anybody
you
know
can't
if it's
sensibly
violent
have a discussion
to
on this
kidnap
topic.
somebody?
We can get into.
Is it violent to kidnap somebody? Anybody know? Is it violent to kidnap
Well,
somebody?
no, because Muslims do that, and Muslims are good. We need that cultural enrichment.
Oh, wait. So then, is it violent to
No,
kidnap
Muslims
somebody?
are good. No, Muslims are good. We should bring them all over here so they can overthrow us and get us to pay a jizya.
Oh.
What's the difference? We have to pay taxes anyway, right?
Well, is it violent then to kidnap somebody?
Well, no, it's what we do anyway. It's fine. We should just bring in all the fucking Muslims and have them force us pay a jizya. It's okay, right?
Okay. I guess it's not violent, right? Nothing's violent, I guess, to you. So, okay.
Well, yeah, it's all the same. We do it anyway. So let's just bring in the Muslims. Nothing would change.
Okay, vegan gains. I'm level Canadian to Canadian. I'm just gonna try to explain this to you. Jizya as a practice does not exist in a way that is practiced by a lot of states. Okay, are you following so far?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
It's not implemented by even.
Keep in mind, Hussein
like
is Muslim,
two
so
of
he's
the-
literally authorized by the Prophet Muhammad to lie to you. Just letting you know.
Oh, he's Muslim?
True.
Yep.
I'm agnostic.
Is he Muslim or is he agnostic?
His name is literally Ethiopian Hassan.
Oh, so he's just a
Hassan
liar.
Piker's lost. What do you mean I'm a liar?
So what are you agnostic of? Are you agnostic of Islam? Are you agnostic
Yes.
of a god,
Yes.
period? You're
yes.
agnostic of Islam. So you think that it is possible that that God talked to an illiterate fucktard in the Middle East and told him that it's fine to rape a fucking 9-year-old. You're agnostic to that.
I'm just saying I don't think God exists. I don't think there's like good arguments on either side. I'm not saying child rape.
There's not good arguments on either side. Are you agnostic to fucking Santa Claus?
No, I don't think Santa Claus exists.
Oh,
so you
but
think there's
you
more
think
proof
there's a
for
possibility
Allah
that
than there is for Santa Claus. That's what I heard.
Right.
Okay, vegan gains.
There's more evidence for Allah than Santa Claus.
I
What's the evidence for Allah?
I don't see much convincing evidence for Allah. That's why I'm agnostic.
Well, why are you agnostic on Allah, but you're not agnostic on Santa Claus?
I haven't really thought about that, like, honestly.
But you
if I'm
thought
being
about
completely
Allah?
honest. Yeah, because I grew
You
up
thought about whether or not it's okay to fuck 9-year-olds?
Dude, I feel like you have this like weird obsession with like the Aisha.
He
shit.
pivoted.
Like, if they checked your hard, if you check the hard
So
drive.
so
like,
do you think it's possible that God permits fucking 9-year-olds?
Or you're agnostic
Dude, I
on
feel
that
like
at
we need
least.
to- No, I'm against that for the record, but I'm just saying I feel like there's a lot of weird shit in your hard drive.
Okay, how about having sex
This is your main
slaves?
talking point. No,
How
I'm
about
not
having
okay with
sex
that either.
slaves, concubines?
I feel like you're shadowboxing someone. I'm not like a radical Muslim Salafist. I feel like you're having
Well,
conversations.
that's
with
what's
me.
in Islam. It's explicitly stated. You're allowed to keep war booty. That includes slaves and sex slaves.
Yep, in Game of Thrones they did it.
Okay.
So you're agnostic whether or not God exists, and he's fine with keeping sex slaves?
I'm
Are you agnostic about getting what 79 virgins in heaven? You're agnostic? Where do the virgins come from? Are they made in heaven specifically for those people, or did God find a bunch of virgins on earth that died, and they're waiting for people who committed
And if you
jihad?
think about it, if they can have 9-year-old sex slaves, that means that your 72 virgins must all be 8 years old. What the fuck?
That's fucked up. So vegan gains. I'm just gonna go back. I said I was agnostic on all gods. You're focusing really heavily.
You're agnostic on all gods.
Really?
You think
Evenly.
Thor might exist. You think Zeus might exist.
No. Okay. Okay. I know. I'm sorry.
What other magical creatures do you think exist? Do you believe that dragons might be real?
There must be a good person.
You're calling me a fucking retard, and you think a magic man in the sky might exist who's okay with you fucking 9-year-olds, and he'll give you 79 virgins in heaven if you blow yourself up? And yeah.
Okay.
I'm the retard?
Vegan gains. I'm trying to.
There might be a magic man. I don't know. I never really thought about it that much, but maybe magic is real. Maybe magic is real. I don't know. I never really thought about it. There's not a good argument either way whether or not there's magic.
But you've thought about Santa Claus more than God.
Yeah.
Vegan gains.
Santa Claus doesn't make me pay jizya.
I'm gonna try to get this out. You can road rage as much as you want. Okay. Okay. So for jizya, the thing that you are autistically hyperfixated on.
I don't give two fucking shits. Move on from the topic. Whatever. If you want to rely on a fucking Wikipedia source, great. There's more than just the fucking jizya with what I have a problem with Islam. There's fucking Sharia law, keeping women as second-class citizens, allowing you to beat your wife, just the pro-war violent fucking attitude these cultures fucking have.
Problem?
Like again, they're absolutely fascist. They do not allow for opposing beliefs. Again, leaving Islam, the death penalty is fucking apostasy.
What do you think fascism means?
Okay, you're a fucking child. I'm not fucking dealing with you. Great.
Okay, number one.
I'm not going to be talked to like a fucking child and ask stupid fucking questions. What do you think fascism is? Fuck you.
Okay, but buddy.
What do you think? This is.
Are you okay, dude? Okay, I'm just saying, like, that's a pretty good question to ask you when you're calling Islam fascistic. You don't know what fascism is.
Oh really? I don't know what fascism is. So murdering people on the basis of a religious or political belief, that's not akin to fascism. Hitler fucking loved Islam. He wished Islam was the fucking religion of the German people. Little fascists wanted to promote Islam.
He loved dogs.
Islam is perfectly in line with fascism in every fucking sense.
Okay, do you need a glass of water? Do you want to take a break, like a 10-minute?
Is it or is it not true that Hitler was infatuated with Islam?
He was probably infatuated with a lot of things. I just don't think that Islam.
There's no way that Hitler wanted to be Islamic. There's no way that's true.
He literally it's documented, it's recorded. This was recorded with his meeting with the Mufti. He was infatuated with Islam. He loved the kind of warlike fucking mentality.
Is different than like wants to be Islamic. Those are two totally different things.
He literally is quoted as saying he would have rather Islam be the religion of the German people than Christianity because he thought Christianity was
Catholicism.
weak.
He hated Christianity. That's a meaningless statement. That's like saying I'd rather be.
That is not a meaningless statement. That is not a meaningless statement.
By Donald Trump than Caesar.
Then why wasn't Hitler ever fucking quoted as saying, "Oh, gee, I wish like the German people believed in the fucking Greek pantheon"? Like there's something special about Islam that Hitler had an interest in.
Why did Hitler convert everybody? Why did Hitler convert everybody? Why was there no state religion of fucking Islam?
That's a good question.
Because most of the fucking Germans were fucking Christian.
He's a fascist dictator.
You think that would be politically poignant?
Matter. Why would a fascist
You think that would be politically poignant?
Oh,
you think that would be politically poignant for him?
My bad. True. Okay. My bad.
So because Hitler's the supreme leader, he can just it's not like a revolt could happen.
No. Fascists are very sensitive to the needs of their subjects.
It's not like he could lose support.
Fascist dictators all the time are like, man, I really don't want to like piss off my population, so let's all just be like atheists or whatever, you know? Chill.
Why do you think he why do you think he publicly stated he was a Roman Catholic?
Because he wanted the church to come riding into battle with him for the 15th Crusade.
Right. Okay. So he tried to manipulate people and get him to support him. That's very fucking obvious and clear.
Why didn't he manipulate
So
people
again,
to believing in Islam?
acting as though Hitler did not have a fucking interest and fascination and infatuation with Islam, because if he did, he would have just tried to convert everybody to Islam. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah, it is. Well, that would be retarded. Except you've
walked back
totally
the whole
changed your
thing.
entire fucking argument. It was
Yeah.
fascinated.
No, I
with.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Okay, you people are fucking retarded.
Vegan Gains, who did you vote for in the last federal election in Canada?
Conservatives.
Hell yeah.
Why'd you vote for him? You see he went to a mosque recently?
Because the liberals are a bunch of lying fucking scumbags, and they've lied about practically every fucking campaign promise they made.
And soy.
Particularly on housing. They said they were going to have this plan to reduce housing. 2 months after fucking dick fuck got elected, his housing minister said, we're not going to do anything to lower the fucking cost of housing. This guy has made plans to deliberately try to keep the ceiling floor of housing high. That fucking condo bailout being a fucking example. Rather than just letting the fucking developers go bankrupt and then buying up these, either allowing private citizens to buy up these properties for nothing, or again, if the whole plan was to have affordable housing, they could have bought up that.
The DSA. Holy shit. I bet you'd love. We have this new mayor down here in New York. It's called Mamdani.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything I'm fucking saying. So thanks for interrupting me.
Do you think all the broken campaign promises are as bad or at the same level as Polyev cozying up with the radical Islamists in mosques? You did see that, right? You're very in tune with politics.
He was being
he's definitely cozying up with mosques by saying that he supports the fucking Israeli incursion into Gaza, right? That was really popular with Muslims. You don't think
politicians lie? You just said liberal.
That was really popular with Muslims. When he literally fucking said that Jews are doing us all a favor by eradicating Hamas? That was a big thing to help the Muslims, right? Do you think Polyev, if he got elected, would have recognized fucking Palestine as a state while there were still fucking Jewish hostages?
No, that's not.
Do you think Polyev would have recognized Palestine as a state while Hamas still had fucking Israeli hostages in Gaza?
So do you think Carney is like this big?
You're not answering my question. Would Polyev have recognized Palestine as a state if he got elected while there were still fucking Israeli hostages being held in Gaza?
Okay. Probably not.
Okay, right. Sure he would.
But do you think Carney's like this big Islamist, like he's been hiding all along in his work for the Bank of England? He probably embezzled money for like Salafist groups in like North Africa. What is your view on this?
He's too weak on them.
I think he's just a corrupt fuckhead, and basically all of his political decisions so far have been made to basically support his own investment portfolio. Pretty clear.
True.
Okay.
Where's the lie?
And he's a fucking asshole. He's still upholding that fucking assault weapon ban for no fucking reason.
True.
There's still a handgun freeze.
Listen, buddy, I don't
gun
think
violence is fucking climbing.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, buddy. I don't think you should have access to any guns. So I think the assault weapon ban, good in my book for now.
You think I can't get a gun? So sorry,
like
fucking eighth graders have fucking handguns. Buddy, there was a shooting with fucking teenagers that just happened at some fucking event in downtown Toronto. Do you think they got those legally? You think I can't get a fucking gun if I wanted? Where do you think these guns come from, you fucking idiot?
Islam.
So how the fuck? So please explain to me how after the handgun ban and after the assault weapon ban, gun violence is increasing.
So where else
banning
had a big
guns
gun ban in?
solves gun violence?
The Gaza Strip.
True.
They got guns.
Gaines, can you repeat the question? I feel like your mic was peaking. I couldn't hear you.
What did you want?
Can you repeat your previous statement?
He said he can get a gun if he wants one, and you're acting like the gun ban is doing anything. That's what he said. You know what he said.
I'm just saying, legally or illegally, I don't think you should be able to own a firearm.
How would you stop me from illegally getting a gun?
Yeah, how would you stop somebody from? That's the whole point of it being illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would call the RCMP in advance, maybe warn them.
In advance? And what, they would just go to his house and block him from leaving?
I would hope so. I feel like this guy should be institutionalized, judging by this combo.
Judging by the convo, when you're the one trying to fucking convince me that a fucking like rapist, pedophile, murder religion is fine, bring more in. It's what's the big deal with the jizya? Murdering people based on their religious belief and not just giving you money and being extorted, that's fine. But I'm the crazy one. You believe in fucking magical fucking creatures in the sky, and you think I'm fucking unhinged?
No, okay. Number one, I don't believe. That's why I said I'm making.
Oh wait, no, sorry. You think it's possible there's magical creatures in the sky?
Listen,
Sorry.
everything's possible. Everything's possible.
Except for Santa Claus, which you said no. So,
Yeah.
straw man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking games, let's discuss about.
By the way, I have no fucking criminal record. I haven't had any fucking assault charges. Nothing.
That's a
Like, you think
miracle.
just because I'm getting angry, I shouldn't be able to like own a fucking gun?
Is that what you would do?
That's how
Hussein?
much of a fucking pansy you are?
If you got angry, you would start killing people.
Oh
with guns?
no, someone got angry. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Make sure he can't get a gun. Ban guns, even though that does nothing, and gun violence is still fucking increased despite all the fucking gun bans and handgun freezes.
You don't seem very stable, and I feel like a good prerequisite for people owning firearms.
I don't seem stable, but you entertain the possibility of magical creatures floating around in the sky.
I mean, I'm not the one hooting and hollering about it. Okay, begin games. Are you right? Is everything good? Can we move on?
So what fucking point did you want to make?
I just said you shouldn't be able to own firearms.
Why?
Do you think
On
you
what
should be-
basis? On what basis? Because I'm getting angry in a conversation?
I feel like a lot of things.
So you believe people should have their rights taken away on the basis of them getting angry in a conversation? You know what? I think you should be institutionalized and locked up because you're insane. Because you think it's possible that there's magical creatures in the sky and that every god that's ever been imagined by fucking mankind could possibly exist and be watching you right now. So you know what? You should have your rights taken away. You should not be able to have a fucking job. You should not be able to walk around freely. You should just be locked up because I don't like the way you think.
I mean, no.
That's how you think? That's how you think.
Because I'm Muslim.
You think basic human rights should be taken away because you don't like how somebody gets angry. And then you think I'm fucking, you think I have the fucked up political beliefs.
Dog, you're the one saying that like fucking like undesirable should be deported from the West. I feel like you.
Oh wow, people who are like rapists and murderers and criminals and have no fucking education and do nothing but leech off the fucking like welfare system, they should be deported? I'm nuts. What a crazy unhinged political belief. We should just look at people online if they ever get angry in a fucking conversation and take away their fucking basic human rights. They shouldn't have a right to defend themselves because they got angry one time.
Kind of fucked up.
Are you doing the Tucker Carlson voice? Also, I don't see why you're against like hijabs and burqas. I feel like your mask. It's pretty.
Oh, hijabs and burqas. Forcing women to cover up their fucking face. Like guess what? Denmark has moved to ban fucking the burqa. You think Denmark is wrong for banning the fucking burqa? Something that like basically keeps women enslaved and second-class citizens? You're in favor of that? You want like a two-tiered society where there's groups of fucking people that use threats and harassment against women to force them to wear certain things? You're in favor of that?
Dude, only for your ex-wife. That's my political position.
Okay, you're completely unserious.
Deeply.
Wait. Answer the question.
You didn't ask me a question.
Would you support your
idiot.
ex-wife? Okay. You got me there.
So again, you think I'm fucking nuts and have fucked up political beliefs because I think rapists, murderers, criminals, and people who have no fucking education who come into the country illegally on the false pretense of being a refugee and just leash off the fucking welfare state, they shouldn't be deported. That is a fucked up political belief to you.
I mean, in the way you're describing it, no, but in the way it's implemented, yes.
How would it be implemented?
Because
by the way, Canada.
Oh,
By the way,
okay,
Canada has absolutely no system of tracking whether or not people overstay their visas. So there's a huge scam going on where people get these bullshit student visas. They don't have any. They don't actually have any credentials to go into these universities. They fake it. A lot of them are able to get in because they don't do a proper check on whether or not their credentials are accurate. Once they get in, they don't even attend these schools. They just stay in Canada and just find whatever jobs and work however they just get by. And they have absolutely no way of tracking these people and making sure they overstay their visas. This is a huge fucking immigration issue in Canada. Again, and then you're saying you're saying that like I'm fucking unhinged by saying we should reform the immigration system and make sure people who shouldn't belong here don't get in?
How do you go from like we need to deport all Muslims to like fixing the immigration
we've
system?
literally had immigration ministers fucking talk about how we're letting in so many people in so fucking quickly we can't do appropriate background checks to make sure they even are who they say they are, and then like you're telling me it's unreasonable to not want people who shouldn't be in the country.
Kind of fucked up.
Vegan Gains, you go from like the most hardcore position and then you like slowly water it down to like a reasonable position.
What have I watered down? What have I watered
You
down?
went from saying all Muslims should be deported to saying we need
I
to
didn't
fix the
say that.
immigration system.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. You explicitly said that.
I didn't say that.
So what type of Muslims would you be fine with?
Well, I guess the ones who are here fucking legally and again aren't fucking
legal ones?
criminals, rapists, murderers, like that sort of shit.
If a Muslim was none of those things but really religious, would you let them be in your society?
Well, I wouldn't let it like again if they're already here and they're here legally. I wouldn't let more in. Like again, religious extremism. Yeah, I'd absolutely block people based on religious extremism. And again. Those are questions that are normal if you go to an immigration office. Like, do you believe women should have the same rights as men? Do you believe that women should be forced to cover up in public? Do you think women should be able to attend school just like men? Those are questions that are asked at immigration offices. So again, if you ask these questions that determine religious extremism and they answer affirmatively that they're religious extremists, why would I want them in?
That's very different from what you originally said, but I feel like we can come.
No, it's not.
It is. It quite.
No, it's not.
Is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's great. The guy who isn't sure whether or not every single magical creature that's ever been conceived of mankind exists or not.
Why do you keep bringing this up? This isn't really affecting.
Right. The guy who isn't sure if the Greek pantheon exists is telling me he's sure of what I just said. Okay.
Okay, deep breaths in and out. Okay, that's kind of all I had.
Yeah, so basically, Mark Carney is a lying, corrupt pussy. He's making the country go fucking bankrupt so he can enrich himself. He is taking away basic fucking human rights from Canadians, including the right to self-defense. He is pushing more archaic anti-gun laws, like in the fucking UK. He's not doing any fucking adequate action against the immigration issues in fucking Canada. And he's trying to ram through really scary legislation. Like he was basically trying to get it so that the government could just spy on you at any time they want. He wanted to make sure that police wouldn't have to have a warrant to basically access your phone and computer. So like there's a lot of shit that he's doing that's just fucking disgusting. And again, the big issue in Canada right now is housing issue. You have like every generation past millennials. They literally will never be able to afford a home at this rate.
Never.
And this guy is deliberately trying to keep the housing floor high.
True.
And there's a lot of weird fucking corrupt shit that's going on with his connections with China. That seems to have something to do with the condo bailout. There were Chinese investors that he was having discussions with this condo bailout thing. Really fucking weird. And again, it's also tied a lot to organized crime. But yeah, the guy's just a lying scumbag. I don't like him. I don't like where he's bringing, I don't like where Canadian politics are headed with the fucking Liberal Party. They're anti-democratic entirely.
Do you think that all those issues you listed are more prescient than the Muslim invasion we're facing as Canadians?
I think they're intertwined. So again,
intertwined.
the liberals are the ones who are pushing this fucking massive, ridiculous fucking immigration, and they're not doing anything to change it. There's so many fucking immigration loopholes that they just refuse to fucking close, and it's because they want this.
I'm just kind of confused. I feel like the anti-Muslim racism doesn't make sense. I feel like a lot of your racism should be
Anti-Muslim racism. I don't care what fucking color Muslims are. Some of them are Persian, some of them are fucking Arab. Has nothing to do with fucking race. You could have fucking redhead gingers talking about fucking jihad. I'd fucking hate them just the same.
Okay, that wasn't the main point. Okay. I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of your racism should be placed towards like...
Is Islam a race? Is Islam a race?
No, okay, prejudice. Is that better for you?
So it's not racism, it's prejudice. What is wrong with prejudice? Do you fuck pigs? That's prejudice. No, you have to have some amount of prejudice and discernment. What is inherently wrong with prejudice? You're prejudiced against rapists, right? You're prejudiced against murderers. Do you want them coming into the country?
No, okay. You knew what I
meant. So what are these words? Like, what utility do any of these words have?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say again. Shouldn't a lot more of your discrimination? Is that a better word for you? Are you happy now?
Sure, go ahead.
Getting a little bit uppity. A lot of your discrimination should be placed towards Indians, who are the main people. A lot of conservatives are blaming. A lot of the immigration system is being strained by, instead of...
by the way, when we're talking about the immigration topic, I wasn't even focusing on Muslims. The Muslim topic was entirely fucking separate, and it wasn't even related to like the Canadian political discussion.
Okay, that's a good clarification. Good job. So do you dislike Indians for the same reasons you dislike Muslims in immigration wise, or do you think there are pure stock of immigrants?
So I prefer Indian immigrants over Muslim immigrants, but they have a lot of the same problems. Well, because they don't believe in radical fucking jihad. They don't believe in like covering women up and treating them as second-class citizens. They don't have the same like fucking crazy, vehemently anti-gay, lesbian, trans fucking prejudices. They're not as inherently violent as a lot of Muslim cultures. If I were to go in front of a Muslim mosque and held up a sign saying like the Prophet Muhammad is a faggot and he raped 9-year-olds or something, or I showed a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, the length of time it would take me to get stabbed would be far shorter than the length of time it would take me to like go in front of a fucking, I don't know, Indian church, I don't know what the fucking call them, and make fun of like Krishna or something.
I feel like
they'd probably just ask me, what's your problem?
You're not... Jesus, that was a crazy accent. I feel like either way, you're going to be pretty safe since, we live in Canada and, the people are not just going to stab you over that.
Yeah, they fucking would. I almost got stabbed at the fucking protest at Ottawa, the October 7th fucking festival. It's on my fucking channel. I filmed the whole thing. There was a guy reaching into his fucking pocket, and he was reaching for a fucking pocket knife, and he was thinking of stabbing me because I had a fucking shirt on that said "Death to Hamas." So again, the idea that there aren't any violent Muslims in this country. Oh, we're safe. Okay, if you think we're safe, if you think Muslims aren't violent, go in front of a mosque, hold up a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, and that says he's a faggot and all this shit. See how long it takes you to get attacked.
Wait, so your evidence is that someone reached into their pocket, and you said you're gonna get stabbed?
I could see a fucking pocket knife in his pocket, and he was reaching for it, standing right next to me, hoping I didn't notice. So I stood right in front of him and stared him down, and then he fucking left.
Wow. That's some high testosterone shit, my guy.
And by the way, I have plenty of fucking stories of people having run-ins with fucking Muslims. I had a buddy who I ran into downtown. I can't remember. It was like Castle Frank Station or something. There was a big mosque there. He was riding his bike, and some like fucking drunk Muslim dude like walked in front of him. Muslim? He got into he was high or crazy or something, And yeah, guess what? Muslims get drunk. Just because it's against their religion doesn't mean Muslims don't do drugs. Okay, so you want to play the no true Scotsman fallacy with me? This guy was like drunk or high or something. He nearly got hit by my buddy on a fucking bicycle. They got into a little fight. This Muslim guy ran into the mosque. This was at like 3 a.m. 50 fucking Muslims poured out and chased my buddy down. And luckily he had a bicycle and he was able to fucking run away.
There were 50
my ex-wife also got harassed.
3 a.m.
My ex-wife also got harassed on the subway around that station where the mosque is by fucking Muslims because she had a dog and she was being fucking threatened. So like the idea that, oh, Canada's safe, Muslims are fine, cultural enrichment, nothing's going to happen. Yeah, great. Stand in front of a fucking mosque and like show a picture.
Listen, we get it? Okay. I got to finish up some.
How long? Like, prove it. Let's see you not get stabbed.
Okay.
These people are violent. By the way, I was helping a guy film downtown who was an anti-Muslim protester. One of them was white. His buddy was actually an ex-Muslim. They were doing an anti-Muslim protest at Dundas Square. He was insulting the Prophet Muhammad. I saw him get attacked by 3 different fucking Muslim men. He got punched in the fucking face. So again, the idea that this isn't a violent fucking culture is just fucking retarded. Look at all look what happened in France with those fucking cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. That artist got fucking stabbed. It is well known these people are fucking violent. Look at in the UK that fucking debate square in the park.
True.
That woman who's an ex-Muslim got fucking stabbed.
All right.
These people are inherently violent.
Okay.
It's part of their
Good one.
culture.
Thank you. Thank you for the contributions. I appreciate it.
All right, that's all. Much love.
Be careful.
Hopefully the 50 Muslims don't get to you too, buddy.
Much love.
Right. Muslims aren't violent. Right. Okay.
Okay. This guy's unhinged. Okay, I'll go over this shit tomorrow. Okay. I'm sleeping. Let's connect. Tension, strain, sprain, stress. Tensions, okay. Tension, stress, and strain. Right? And then strain, pull, sprain. No. Yes? Okay. Jangle, intense, orange, feline, febrile, baseball, marble, apron, appoint, terminal, excited, runway, frenetic, hanger, deplane, and globe. January, February, March, April. What? Jan, Feb, Mar, April. Oh my god, I just got fucking baited so hard. Okay, never mind. Frenetic, excited, intense, and febrile? I don't know what this word is. I guess it means in an anxious state. Okay. Deplane, hangar, terminal, runway. Things at an airport, a terminal, a runway, a hangar. Globe? I don't know what the fuck. Oh, fuck. How is this one off? Oh, man. What? Oh, things on a graph, I think. Or something. Line, point, a range, and a plane. Bruh. What? Angle? Point, line, plane, angle? Whatever. Math things. Okay. Hangar, terminal, runway. Marble? Terminal, hangar, runway. Things you see from the air, from an airplane. You see the globe. Orange. I don't know. Fuck me. Spherical things. Marble? What? Oh, like a marble. Oh. Parts of an airport. What the fuck is an apron? In an airport. I don't know what the fuck that even means. It's the tarmac? Okay. Alright. I'll leave you guys. Be careful. Rest in peace. Stay safe. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Oh no, I definitely will. Goodbye. Be careful. Love you. Bye.